Welcome to the Four Brewers Podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I'm joined by
Jason Harris.
Woo woo, Greg Nagel.
Joe Senegalia.
And this week on the show, we are featuring beers from Cellar West Brewing out of Lafayette, Colorado, which were provided to us by Zach Nichols. He hit us up and asked us if he wanted to try some of their beer. He's the owner of the brewery, by the way. I think he's a co-owner with his wife, Rachel. So I said yes, and here we are. Before we get to it, though, I just want to mention we got a couple new supporters on Patreon, which is the first set we've received since we came back from our hiatus. We got James Nichols, who is actually, he just renewed his Patreon support. And then Mark Passarella, who is a new supporter. So thanks to those dudes for
What's up, dudes?
throwing some love our way.
Welcome to the party. Welcome to the
we're
beer bus.
still trying
I'm
to
driving.
figure out what we're going to do for our Patreon stuff. And, that's all up in the air. But yeah, for the time being, thank you so much for your support.
What Bernie Mac always used to say? God damn it, welcome. God damn it, welcome.
I don't know. I didn't know. Didn't watch
Never
a lot
seen
of
it.
this stuff.
Oh, Bernie Mac was the best.
So yeah, like I said, Zach hit us up about a month or so ago, asking if we wanted to try their beer, and I said yes. Again, this is from Cellar West. They're kind of a brewery that's inspired by farmhouse, Belgian styles, stuff like that. A little brief history on them. He's Zach Nicholas. He started He got started in the beer industry by working at a bottle shop in Madison, Wisconsin in 2009. Fast forward to 2016, him and his wife opened up Cellar West in a garage, actually in North Boulder. And then in 2018, they moved the brewery to Lafayette, Colorado for more space, for seating, increased barrel storage, and to upgrade the brew house and packaging facilities. So
Yeah, it looks like Lafayette's maybe like a suburb of Boulder, like maybe 5-10 miles away.
yeah, it's in the greater
in the
Boulder
neighborhood.
region. Yeah.
Yep.
I almost said they were from Boulder because I kept seeing Boulder everywhere, but technically they're from Lafayette. So
Lafayette.
So yeah,
Yeah.
first up, we have a beer. It's a lager called Spiral Light, and this is a 4.6% alcohol by volume beer made with Magnum, Crystal, and Meridian hops, and
I didn't even
from
notice
Magnum.
that.
German lager yeast.
I didn't even notice that little spiral was a turtle. I thought it was just a spiral. I was like,
Oh yeah, just noticed that too. Wow.
It's
Turtle's all the way down.
It's a turtle
Turtles,
on a
baby.
tambourine.
it is a turtle. I'm
And
a
that is
turtle.
a tambourine, I believe.
I'm a turtle.
And I'm drinking this.
Oh,
from our-
I like
That's
turtles.
about as useless as a turtle on a tambourine, isn't it?
I like turtles.
John, that new glassware is Fuego.
Yeah, it looks good. I
like it.
can't really see it that well on the camera, but you can kind of see it. It's just the new logo. We bought these for ourselves, so we all have like the right glasses, and because we taste multiple beers, it's just nice to have multiple glasses to be able to pour beers in. But we had to order like 48 of them, so we'll all each have some extras to give away to whoever we want.
Yeah,
And I'm
just
also going to
looks
say
like-
I utilized
Sorry.
the Greg beer glass douche technique for all my glasses
Douche the
today.
glass. Good.
Yes, I used I made a mixture of I don't know, 2 parts vinegar and then the rest water with just a splash of soap. And
It
it's
works,
in a squeeze,
dude.
It's in a squeeze bottle too.
How do you know
Just
the
scrub
actual
it.
brand names, dude? Massive.
What happened?
Massigill. Summer's Eve. You
Summer's
know,
Eve.
you just
I
gotta-
know I know Summer's Eve. I do not.
when your glassware has that not so fresh feeling, you have to
Am I just
spiff them up.
am I elderly, or is the black text on this purple can
I can't read it. Yeah,
incredibly
sorry.
fucking hard to read? Like, I generally am not
In the
sitting here
world.
squinting, like needing to get my readers or
I
whatever.
mean, we're getting
but
old, but
Moved
But-
by inspiration from our American industrial forebears, we set out to craft an incredibly light and crisp lager, but with modern pizzazz. Spiral Light is brewed with Pilsner malt and rice, but we've enlivened this adjunct lager with a kettle addition of lemony, spicy crystal hops and a sprinkle of Oregon-grown Meridian hops in the fermenter. Enjoy a bright combo of eternal drinkability and a suggestion of citrus and huckleberry.
Huckleberry.
huckleberries. All right. I was going to say
So-
buckwheat.
On the
They should-
can, it also says that it is fire brewed in small batches. Do we think that means anything, or is that just like saying it's cold filtered or whatever?
Fire
Nice.
brewed.
It also says
Maybe
made,
they have a propane kettle situation.
It also says made using pure snow melt. Oh, no.
I mean, that's kind of like, okay, the water where they are probably is all snow melt, right? Like that's just the default. But I'm like, is fire brewed? Whoever sent us this, if they could follow up and let us know if fire brewed means something special or it just means
That's what the kids are saying. It's fire brewed, dude. It's fire brewed,
I
bro.
invited Zach to be in the chat for the live stream, so if he's here, he could maybe chime in. But mashed by hand, okay, maybe they just use mash paddles. They don't have like rakes or anything in the mash
Yeah,
tun, so
yeah.
I could see that.
Super artisanal.
With that, and that's how I think. Did Beechwood have rakes? Because I remember Julian, he would be cranking on that fucking mash paddle when he's mashing in. Like,
Yeah, I
but
think
I'm-
they have now.
yeah.
But back in the day,
And then fire brewed in small batches. I mean, I think every beer is fire brewed unless you're brewing with like hot rocks or something in the kettle,
or steam, maybe,
or maybe steam. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
an electric heating element, I suppose.
Okay, so there's a fourth. Yeah.
He's out there
Yeah.
chopping down trees in Boulder and like getting those logs ready and burning up
Maybe.
some wort.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
It looks good on the
Wrecking
can.
it. The beer looks fantastic too. It's got a little bit of a haze, but mostly it's super clear. Really tiny bubbles.
It looks like what would be marketed as like a pre-prohibition lager or some shit, right? Like a lot of places would like the way the beer looks, where it's like clear but not quite filtered clear, like it's got a little bit of that like chill haze kind of thing on it. Because they're calling this basically their answer to an adjunct lager.
But it's got a lot of personality.
Yeah, it does. I really like the hop character on this beer.
This is like a spicy lemony character. I don't know if I'm just getting that because the can told me I'm supposed to smell lemon.
No, yeah, it's got this like definite
spicy
like
lemon.
buckwheat, lemon, zesty sort of vibe to it.
Yeah, it's bright.
It is bright, and it comes off like it would come from a brewery like this, who's inspired by kind of older school or old world like Belgian beers and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of right in their alley.
It's almost like a lemongrass. Is the flavor that I'm getting. Not a huge there's not a huge amount of aromatic on it. There's a little bit, but it's almost like they actually just use bittering hops for bittering, and but that's giving the beer like a nice character. Without,
I don't know, everything I just described was just what I got off the nose. I hadn't even tasted it yet. So as far as the flavor goes, it's definitely more flavorful than I was expecting. Definitely more of that lemongrass kind of bitterness in the middle of your tongue. That's pretty nice, but still pretty clean and dry.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
This beer's a chugger, dude.
Yeah, it's got
it's warm. Like it's really, really warm where I'm at this weekend. So I've just been smashing lagers. This is a liter beer for me, Jason.
So I had yesterday like a Pacifico, and even Pacifico after a little while, the hop profile
it's taxing.
It can be a bit much. Like I had one of the big fucking cans you get from the gas station or whatever, and by the end of it, you're like, all right, I'm kind of glad this is done. And that's the definition of not a liter beer. That's like, all right, I've had close to a liter and I'm done. But this beer, yeah, this is like you could just chug a gallon of this fucking thing.
I mentioned this on a previous show about sweetness from lighter beers, lagers especially, and how that's kind of a turnoff for me. And like I said, this finish is super dry, but it's got like a soft roundness to it, like on the mouth.
I was going to say that too.
Like it's not prickly. It's the bubbles. It's not champagne-y, but it's also. I mean, it's like I think it's got the perfect amount of carbonation on it. It's not burning on your palate, but it's still way soft.
They pulled off something really interesting, which is that this is like a finesse beer. It really is. Like a lot of, I mean, and we love them. I'm not talking shit, but the hoppy pilsners. I think there's one in this fucking pack, but it's easy to take the Pilsner lager formula and just like blow it out with hops and make a
throw
big
hops
hop
at it,
right? And this isn't that. This, I feel like, drinks like you're drinking a light lager, just with some more hop presence in a way that still feels like that same experience,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looking at the grain bill on this, it's American Pilsner malt, rice, and acidulated malt. So it seems, as far as even for the acidity, they're going about it in a more traditional way, not just adding lactic acid to buffer things out.
Yeah, and as soft as it is, it does have a brightness to it. It's not like a dull beer by any stretch of the imagination. It's got that lemon thing, and it's a good clean lager on top of that. It's nice and dry, crisp.
I'm sure
when it's
that
hot here. Whew.
that acidulated malt does add a bit of an edge to it, like to kind of finish everything up on your palate and clean things up. That combined with how dry it is and that little bit of a bitter bite, I dig it. This is really good.
It's really, really good.
Has
Yeah, I wonder if
anyone
that's
else
like
had Meridian hops before?
Probably, but I mean,
It doesn't sound familiar to me.
they have to have been in a Pizza Port pier or something at some point.
Yakima Valley does describe them as sugary lemon, which actually kind of is how this beer tastes.
It's lemony. I don't feel like this beer's sweet though. Does it taste sweet to you guys?
No,
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Sugary lemon, yeah. Fruit punch, clean and crisp. I wonder, there's also lemon drop hops too as well. I wonder if that's at all related to this. But
Isn't that what Stone used to use in Delicious or whatever, the lemon drop hop?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Man, that's such a mediocre beer. Makes me mad every time I think about
Delicious.
I remember when it
it's like
first
false
came-
advertising.
I'm saying when it came out, when it first came out, I remember liking it. It's funny, like that. I think I told you guys that's the beer. Like if we're out and my wife sees it, she gets it every time. She likes that beer.
All right.
It's a wife beer.
I got a Lagunitas the other day, and it was it's better than I remember.
Lagunitas IPA is great.
Lagunitas is pretty good.
They've dried it out
What's
a
up?
little bit.
I like Lagunitas IPA. I like this beer. I like trying new breweries. I had never heard of Cellar West until John sent these beers. I'm stoked.
It's always good to try some Colorado action.
Yeah.
Hardly ever get out there these days.
I wish there was more like information on their on the actual brewery. Their history section's pretty light, which I've noticed more and more breweries aren't really spending a lot of time on that.
I don't know. It seems they had a little bit of. I mean, I got everything on our show notes from their website, and then I posted links to their Untapped, which is kind of barren for information. But then I also posted a link to their website underneath those links in our notes to the beers, and they do provide an ample amount of information about each beer. So I think it's plenty of information. I don't know how deep you want them to go.
The beers are good. I feel like when we're doing this show, what I struggle with a lot of breweries, their about me section is usually like a paragraph or too long, and it's like that's it. And I'm like, give me a little bit more to chew on, guys. I want to tell your story.
We started in the garage, and then we wanted to make
your story.
beer, and then we got bigger. Now we're in a neighborhood.
Now,
I'd be stoked if this place is my neighborhood. I'd drink the shit out of this beer.
right?
Of course.
No, this bodes really well. I think nailing this kind of beer, it's a testament to a skilled brewery, and I think I'm optimistic about the rest of the stuff we're about to try.
Dude, looking
We'll
at the
see.
photos on Google too, the building's rad. It's like a brick building. It's super. It's a cool like little vibe they got going on. They have
Little
outdoor
outdoor
seating, which is
area,
cool. Yeah, it looks sweet.
A lot of artwork. It looks like they, from YouTube at least, it looks like they host a lot of live music.
The other thing I'm gathering, especially looking at their tap list, where like they have a guest IPA from Racer 5. They have a Racer 5 on, so that tells me they're probably a really small spot. And considering they're saying fire brewed, I'm betting that it's a lot more. They've got a smaller, much more manual system, right? Like probably not.
It looks like a neighborhood spot.
Yeah.
It's a neighborhood brewery for sure.
Dude, speaking of Racer 5, did I tell you guys when I was up at that wedding a couple weekends ago, that was the beer that was on tap there, and it was serve
That's
yourself.
amazing.
Dude, it was serve yourself. So you were walking up, just
Ooh.
it was awesome.
You just sit down next to the keg, like
I'm like, who wants to do keg stands?
Mom, what's wrong with Dad?
What was that
Racer
birthday
5,
party
honey.
you went to, Greg, for someone from Bottle Logic at their house?
Oh my God!
They-
Yes.
they had
Was
that-
they have fucking FO on tap and stuff?
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
and everything was
yeah.
self-serve.
Did
Like,
everything.
their backyard, I
God.
think they had 3 different tap stations. Like awesome house, awesome backyard.
wasn't it Brandon's birthday?
I think
Probably,
it
yeah,
was.
Buckner.
But everything was pretty much. It was a bottle share, and then the stuff they had on tap.
Bottle
was
share
all-
playa?
They had a Wakefield
Wow,
keg.
Joe,
They had a
playa.
J Wakefield keg. Like
Yeah.
it was.
by the
God.
way,
Dude, were people like puking?
I mean,
We got a hotel. So
It's a bottle share, yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
It's a bottle share play.
I don't even remember. Yeah,
Bottle share play.
I think I don't even remember what I brought. Probably like a vertical epic or something. I was like,
it
here,
didn't
here I
matter
am.
because like everything was that they had.
They're like, did you
Trump
bring this?
themed
I'm like,
beer.
no, we already drank the beer. I brought like I
That-
didn't claim it or anything.
I don't like big stranger bottle shares like that though, because it feels like
Dude,
it's like
We
everyone's
knew
just
everyone
judging
there. What are
you.
you talking about?
No,
Dude,
no,
don't
like,
drink
that
beer
was-
was there.
No, that particular one was fine, but a lot of those really turn into, and even within those, like it nobody knows anybody, so it's all like, hey, what beer did you
People-
bring? Oh, that beer, and it's just everyone being like judgy about.
And then
what
people
beer
did
you
find
had.
their tribes. I remember Cameron Collins was there, and all the Brouhaha people were hanging out together at one table. and
Yeah, don't
me
drink
and
beer was there with
4B
all his
guys
homies,
were
all the
hanging out.
tickers.
Yeah.
Oh, tickers. Tickers
Did
got
you
a
was
guys
ticker?
see
fun,
that article on Don't Drink Beer in, I think, All About Beer this week?
Yeah, it was
They
good.
did like a really long profile on him. It was actually pretty good.
Yep.
Don't
I
think I-
reposted it on our Threads account.
Maybe that's where I saw it.
What are we drinking next? By the way,
Do we have more beer?
Yeah. Nope, that's it.
all right, end of
And
the
that's our
Roll
show
credits.
this week.
I was laughing when John was like, they hit me up, and I was like, sure, I'll take your beer. I'm like, would anybody ever hit you and be like, hey, do you want beer? You're like, nah, no thanks.
Me, yes, there is definitely
does
a
a couple.
brewery or two I can think of that I
Okay.
would definitely say no to. Yeah.
All right.
I can think of one brewery that could plausibly hit us up that I would very much, we would have to have.
I think
like,
we're
a
thinking of the
behind-the-scenes
same brewery.
conversation. Yeah.
So, up next from Cellar West, we've got Mellow More. Is that am I saying that right? More?
Ah, shit! I went to the saison. Fuck.
The saison.
That's-
What?
You
That's
gotta wait for that
Amore,
song,
John.
playa.
Yeah. Mellow More. This is an Australian pale ale.
Fuck yeah.
Made with Galaxy and Vic's Secret hops. I don't think I've had Vic's Secret hops. in a
Uh-oh.
while.
Oh, we've had Big
Uh-oh.
Secret for sure.
And
I'm completely off the Galaxy train these days, so hopefully this beer is good.
So I mean, not to question our drinking order, but if I were ordering these 4 beers, I would put this pale ale last.
in hindsight, yeah. Do we want to save it?
No, I already poured, dude. And it's a pale ale. Come on,
Send
some
it.
triple IPA or something. Like,
The farmhouse, I mean,
Send
it's the most unique and it's the
Fucking
highest
send it.
ABV of the bunch. So I felt compelled to put it last.
wow, this
I
beer
felt
looks
it
identical to the pale or the lager.
Yeah,
Very
it
light
does.
straw. It's got a nice clingy head. Really fine bubbles in there.
Dude,
I really like their
they're
art
exactly
style.
the same.
It has like a 70s children's album cover vibe.
Yeah, right.
Dude, this I don't know how I feel about the way this smells.
Why do we think this
What's the
eel is
ABV
so
on this,
mellow?
John?
5.9.
5.9.
Yeah.
Because it's Australian, do you think it's Mellow More?
It's Australian for beer.
Drink it on your dick.
It smells like chapstick to me, and I don't like it.
Chapstick.
Yeah,
Chapstick, huh?
my can smells weird.
What are the hops? Because I'm having it's like when those like Zappa, like
it's-
Neo Mexicanas sort of vibe.
Is it
meets,
Galaxy and Vic Secret is what
Galaxy.
it says.
Yeah, Vic Secret's kind of a weird hop for me. But what does that smell in the nose?
I don't get chapstick because I'm
It's
thinking
like
of
it's like
Yeah, I'm getting a
like plain
nice.
chapstick.
I'm getting
like-
like a nice kind of fruity floral aroma out of
Yeah,
this.
same.
I'm liking it.
It's like Douglas fir meets.
I didn't use the
Fruity
beer
Pebbles?
douche. I didn't use the beer douche though. Actually, that's not wrong, Greg. I think.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's piney and fruity.
in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like the two hops sort of collide a little bit on my nostrils.
Yeah,
It's
there's like a
is it piney
pine-
or is it fruity? I don't know.
There's like a pininess on the front of the nose, and then like an afterwards. You're like, oh no, there's like a fruity pebbles, fruitiness to it. You
your beer
totally
looks
nailed
way like hazier than mine, Jason. Is it just because it's far away from the camera?
it. No, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty hazy.
It's got a haze to it.
Do I have an
I
off
dig
can?
this. I get that fruity pine the pine fruit on the nose with a like borderlining on cake batter thing, not nearly to the level I would get it on the nose of a hazy, but just kind of a nice, kind of a Swedish smelling, not Swedish, but sweet smelling bread. I don't know.
It's got that Swedish fish.
Swedish.
Got that,
I don't know.
it's got that
doesn't make sense.
surströmming.
It's one of those times when we say
aroma.
this smells soft, and I know that doesn't make sense, but I've described aromatic that way before.
Do you know what surströmming is?
Greg,
It's a
I
Swedish delicacy.
went through a phase where I would watch those videos of people trying to eat surströmming.
Yeah,
Dude, I would literally cry in my bed laughing.
it's fermented fish that's in the can that's bulging because there's so much fermentation happening.
As
in it.
soon as
And
they crack it,
you have
they just start,
to like
"Whoa."
you have to put it in a bag underwater to open the can without like getting repulsed.
Dude.
This has nothing to do with the beer, by the way. So I gotta look at surströmming.
Sorry, Cellar West.
What I
guys.
think is funny is there's a candy called Swedish Fish, and then there's like the Swedish Fish that like is totally gross.
So this is gonna localize this, but the hop profile on this beer reminds me a lot of some of the Smog City hoppy stuff they do here. Anybody who's local in SoCal, Smog City has kind of a unique approach to how they hop their beer, and I think their hoppy stuff always has a bit of a unusual flavor, and this reminds me of that a lot, actually, where it doesn't feel like they're just trying to hit the fruity, sweet, floral notes in the hop profile. Like there's a little bit of complexity to it, and it's a little bit more challenging. I don't know if this is a leader beer as a result. I may say something I almost never ask, but in a pale ale, I feel like maybe a little bit more malt to it might help this one out a little bit, because it feels a little, again, not something I often ask for.
I mean, I feel like this is overall just pretty balanced. If anything, it's on the fruitier, hoppier side for a pale ale. The malt profile. I mean, the malt profile. What is this? Pilsner malt, white wheat, acidulated malt, and carafoam. I think that's. I mean,
that builds a lot of body.
Pretty decent backbone for
me.
Beer.
Like the way it tastes, I'm just getting. It's a little like the hop profile. I actually really like. I think it's an interesting hop profile, and I could see it being challenging for some people.
Yeah, I think it's pretty Vic Secret forward. Just looking at the profile for Vic Secret, it's pineapple, pine, and herbs, which really, I think this beer definitely has.
That's what I'm getting, but it's not like an extreme amount. Like it's
Galaxy. I'm not getting a ton of Galaxy from it.
Joe, what are your thoughts on this beer?
So when it was like ice cold and I was smelling it and drinking it, I thought I had like an off can. As it's warmed up a little bit, that fruity pebble thing that Greg was talking about, for sure. When I first opened this and smelled, like, it had like this weird funk to it, and I'm not sure. I don't know if I have a weird can of this.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you, dude. My first, like this, my initial, when you have like a first impression of a beer, and sometimes it just doesn't hit your nose right, and you're like, it smells a little off. It's just, I'm like, is it there's like, my brain automatically goes down that rabbit hole of like, is it diacetyl, is it blah blah blah,
Yeah.
And after taking a sip, that's definitely not either of those things. It's a clean beer, but Vic Secret is just one of those hops that just
maybe
does
I'm not a Vic
do it
Secret
for me.
guy. Yeah,
The secret's out.
I think for me, the mouthfeel and the overall, like, the mouthfeel on the last beer was really impressive and like masterfully crafted. Where in this one, it's a little bit like it's a little hop watery. Like,
what
to pick on it a little bit. Yeah, I feel like it could have a little bit more body going for it.
Maybe.
They're using carafoam and stuff in there, like, right?
Yeah.
It seems like they're trying to build up the body more, but it fell a little short. I
am completely on a different page from you guys. I think if anything, it's a little too bitter for me, but I like the pininess. I like the fruitiness. I think the nose is perfect for what it is. It's not overwhelmingly hoppy. It's definitely not overwhelmingly hoppy. You can smell the malt profile. You can smell the hops in there. I think it's a very well balanced beer. I think it drinks very soft. I think it's very rounded out. I don't have a problem with this. It's not super sweet. I mean,
I
it's
like
a
that
good
you
beer
said.
for a pale
I like
ale.
that you said cake battery, because I do get sort of like that hazy IPA aromatic without being a hazy IPA, which I think is super interesting. Like, I think it's an interesting beer, right?
I mean, I'm not going to say you guys are being too hard on this beer, but it's
No,
because
we're not being
it's
hard
your
on it.
opinion. But I just think it's for me. I just don't get where I don't get that because for me, it's I'd happily buy this again. It's really tasty.
Yeah, I just feel like the first beer was like such a perfectly balanced beer, and this one like it feels a little bit off kilter to me. Like it's still a really well made beer, and there's no like quality defects I'm getting in this beer at all. It's an interesting recipe, and they clearly have a pretty with both these beers. What I'm gathering is they have a pretty unique approach to how they hop their beers, and their hopping approach is interesting,
right.
which I'm a fan of actually. So.
John, you mentioned bitterness in this beer, and I think that's what is going on with my can. I feel like the bitterness is so much that I can't get
it's lingering.
Enough of the hop character from it. So I think it just feels just bitter on my tongue without having like a big hop and maybe it's just the can that I have.
No,
It's
you're
like,
right.
That fruit is definitely there, but the bitterness is just, it kind of takes over everything for my tongue.
You and Greg are correct about that because I can still taste the bitterness in the middle.
Yeah, that hop bite lingers on the back of your palate.
And I just don't think there's enough fruit from the hops. Like that fruitiness you're smelling, I don't think there's enough fruit from the hops to kind of balance that out enough.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That makes sense because since it's lingering for so long, I would agree that. I mean, depending on what they're going for, that could be what they're going for.
Yeah.
But for your palate, I could kind of agree with you. I would want a little more of the flavor from the hops and a little bit less of the bitterness. It
leaves almost like the aftertaste of the beer is almost like you just ate like a Lemonheads candy.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like you're actively eating it, but like you had one a little bit ago.
Yeah, it's got that like I don't want to say like sandpaper tongue kind of a thing, but it almost leaves like that just
cat tongue.
Cat
tongue,
like a grittiness,
like a cat licked you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, not a bad beer.
Okay, well,
that
was actually pretty interesting to talk about.
It's not for my palate.
We were,
you know me, John. I like bitter beer. I think I want more hop flavor with that bitterness.
Yeah,
it's a one and done beer for me. Like it's a beer that I'm glad I tried it, but then it's like, all right, what else do they have? Like I'll go on the menu.
It's a Melamore.
Some more A.
It's a Melamore.
What's the next beer? They're
I think we're doing pills, I would assume.
The West Coast one?
Yeah, up next from Cellar West, we're doing the wheel. We're gonna hop on board the wheel. And it's a 5% alcohol by volume pills made with it is a pills, right? I got that. Yeah, it's a West Coast pills. And this one's made with Magnum, Callista, and Nectaron hops. And the malt bill is all American Pilsner malt and acidulated malt. And
can you guys comment on the wetness of my can?
Dude, bro, it's so hot.
It's so wet, Greg.
It's like so wet.
You have the wettest can of all.
Why is it so wet?
I mean, Greg, that's a you problem. It didn't ship wet, I'm pretty sure.
I have asked myself
why am
my
beers so wet? Dear Martha.
Greg definitely does not have a lubrication problem.
Was that bench?
Now, unlike you guys, so I put an ice pack in a bowl, and then I put my beers on ice packs in a bowl.
You get a cooler
because this works just fine.
Yay!
And then I put the bowl in the back in the cupboard, and nobody knows.
Greg's got
I just got mine
dead
in a refrigerator next to me. So,
dude, I think this is the second beer from them that you said. Didn't you say Magnum hops was in the first beer too? Like it seems like they like to use Magnum hops, and I don't know much about Magnum hops.
Magnum is probably a bittering.
Yeah, they were like the default bittering hop when I was
Magnum hops are the biggest hops you can get.
Yeah.
So the only thing I know about Magnum is the gas station.
They're a lot girthier than normal hops.
Playa.
Extra thin.
They're like 10-inch long hops.
The cones are the most dummy thick cones you ever see in a mini hop.
And they're ribbed for your pleasure. Not for hers. for you.
No, it's for her.
Magnum hops go
Sorry,
hard.
sorry, Cellar West. We just lost the retweet right there.
There goes the retweet.
If anybody retweets anymore.
I like how the back of their cans, like the front of their cans, have kind of like a 70s album cover vibe. And then the back of them, they look almost like it would be like a poster advertising going to see Houdini do magic or some shit.
I was gonna say, yeah, like comic book, kind of like with the little, font is in the little boxes, and they should take the font here and make that blue background behind it so you can read it easier.
Right. I mean, this one I can read okay. Although the black on red is still not ideal, but I'm not normally this elderly. I can generally read cans.
I like
All right,
this
y'all.
beer.
So they're calling this a West Coast Pils, and in my brain, I'm expecting something from Green Cheek. I'm going to temper expectations because this is not a brewery from California, and that's what I'm thinking going into this beer.
So, off the bat, the hops are weird. Just looking at the names of the hops that are in here, Callista and Nectaron, like
Nectaron I've had before. I think that's another hop that Stone uses.
I've had them, but they're not usually. Callista, especially, is not usually like a feature hop.
Callista, I mean,
It's a role player, right?
Yeah, usually I've seen it.
It's a German hop. It's a German hop. So going along with the Pils theme, I think checks out, right?
Oh,
it's a low alpha flavoring aroma hop. They say fruit, citrus, berry currant, and cream caramel. That is
creamed caramel.
So after taking a sip of this and smelling the nose, this is, I think, what they were going for. I want to say they called it a West Coast Pils because it definitely is more on the hoppy side of a Pils, but I think they're trying to make clear that this is not a Pilsner by the traditional sense of a Pilsner because it's got more hop character, but it's not nearly anything like you'd get these days on the West Coast.
This is not a California West Coast Pilsner.
Yeah. Okay, and we're speaking strictly from a SoCal point of view and maybe from a NorCal point of view, but maybe Oregon, Washington, that's technically the West Coast, and maybe they wouldn't have the same hoppiness in their beers. But
no, I would say they not only they were doing it first.
Okay.
Like I was having the kind of beers we're getting now in Southern California in the Northwest like a couple years ago. So
all right.
Like they were ahead of the curve on it. But I think it's also worth considering that off of the West Coast, I think you call something a West Coast just to signify it's hoppy but not hazy.
Sure. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hoppy, but it's not a hazy boy, right?
So looking at it from that perspective, that's how I think we should judge this, and not from like, oh, this is so.
How's it go versus Timbo?
Yeah, exactly.
Jason, you got to remember, like Timbo, that's been around for like 10 years now, hasn't it? Like that's an OG West Coast.
Dog. Dude, Highland Park has barely been around for 10 years.
Are you sure? I would say Timbo's like I don't know, a 6-year-old beer. Maybe?
Hold on a second. I'm Googling it.
Well, 6 is
let's see here.
Half of 10.
In 2015, Highland Park introduced a new craft beer Six Nation, the West Coast Pilsner.
No shit.
It says, yeah.
All right, that's 9 years.
So 9 years. So, okay, yeah. Joe wins. Price is right.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to win anything. I think.
Yeah, but you did.
Listen, I'm very protective over California's beer scene. So I'm like, you know what? West Coast Pils, Southern California West Coast Pils are where it's at.
So like I said, looking at it from the perspective of it not being what we would normally call a West Coast Pils, what do y'all think?
I was going to say that it's missing the Pils component, like that Pilsner malt sort of biscuity, crackery thing that you get from a lot of Pilsners as not on the nose. But what I do get is quite pleasant. It's got a nice sort of peachy, nectarine, apricot vibe to it. That big stone fruit here. It's nice.
Yeah, Nectaron hops are very stone fruity.
To me, I mean, like, if I see West Coast Pils on the menu and I order this, I'm not going to be disappointed. This is a really good beer. I think this combination works better than the last one. I was trying to figure out like what would be the real difference between the pale ale and the West Coast Pils, because their pale ale was very light anyways. And They are different, and weirdly, the Pilsner works better, I think. I'm actually curious why that is, and I don't
The
know
yeast.
from a... You think it's just the
Yeah,
yeast?
lager versus
absolutely.
ale, right?
Yeah, this is made with German lager yeast, and the pale ale was made with California ale with Cal Ale. So, if it's the White Labs Cal Ale, I can. It sounds bad to say. I can see why you probably wouldn't like it. I'm not a fan of Cal Ale yeast. I mean, unless you
It's one dimensional, I think.
What's that?
I said it's very one dimensional.
Yeah, it's a good all around yeast, but there's not much going on with it.
Why don't you talk to a little brewery called Sierra Nevada there, buddy?
Yeah.
They use Chico, baby, which is based on like a British yeast. No,
I thought Chico and Cal Ale were the same fucking yeast.
nah,
Chico, Cal Ale, USO5, it's all the same fucking shit.
is it
Pretty
Chico
sure.
yeast?
Pretty
all
sure
same
it's
in the
all
dark
by
jersey.
I
every-
know. I've made a Sierra Nevada pale ale clone back in my day, and I used like a Chico strain.
It's been
I
so
think those
long,
are
I
all
can't
just
remember.
different terms for the same thing.
All right, agree to disagree.
I like this beer more than the pale ale. I like Greg said, the stone fruitiness of this.
What do you think of the finish? I think the mouthfeel and finish is where this beer definitely wins.
Right. Well, and it doesn't have that long lingering bitterness. I mean, obviously it's not. It's a Pilsner, but it's just
What-
I
what
like
if-
that doesn't get in the way.
What I think instead of that long lingering bitterness, I think the bittering goes like instead of like stone fruit, it goes more like green fruit, like a sort of unripe, like when you on the back palate, it goes sort of like under ripened like watermelon a little bit.
Yeah.
Or like
Um,
kiwi-ish.
Yeah.
No,
Let me take another sip because it was based on the one sip and it was like sort of
I thought
it
you
goes
just said-
green. Everything
let me
goes
take-
green.
I thought you just said let me.
Well,
let me
while
take
Greg has
sip,
another
'cause-
sip, I'm on beermaverick.com, the complete guide to the Chico strain of yeast. Why yeast American Ale, White Labs California Ale, Fermentus USO5, Omega West Coast Ale, Giga Yeast NorCal #1 are all Chico yeast strains.
Chico,
Wow.
baby.
They're all the same one.
All right. Okay, we agreed to agree this time.
And it makes me sound like an asshole for saying it's a boring yeast because Sierra Nevada uses it to make great beers. So I guess it's all about.
I'm pretty sure
I don't
Russian River uses it too. Like it is the old school West Coast IPA.
It's
yeast.
ubiquitous,
Yeah, maybe it's
right?
just all
Yeah.
about what you do with it.
Wow,
and
look
the
at
rest
you,
of the development.
ubiquitous.
Man.
I like it.
Ubiquitous boy. John, I
I
like
did
how
take
there's
another
a
sip.
journey through a coral reef going on in your background right there.
I
He
don't
does
know
have
why
like
it's not
that
changing.
fish.
It's the
I like
apple-
it.
No,
It's
it's
the
nice.
apple
Yeah.
screensavers.
It's a
Really
Oh, is that
good.
like rendered fish? It's not like a...
It's
No,
vegan.
it's real
documented.
fish.
Oh,
Let's see.
okay.
Oh, there it is again. It's only using 3 screensavers.
It would have been
what's
awesome,
going on.
like if you like hit that,
Anyway.
your actual screen came on, and it was like you porn or something. That'd been great. Gosh, that would have been amazing,
That'd be very problematic.
dude.
Yeah.
I don't know who's watching. I did so.
Tell us a story. Tell us a story, Joe.
I was,
This is where he tubed on the Joe's Arcade
dude,
channel.
I was telling you guys a couple weeks ago. we
Joe's Arcade off the rails.
we used to do the arcade tournament in Idaho every year, and the one year we were out there, and I woke up the next morning like in a total haze, and we go back to the arcade to like start the day, and I go to take my phone out, and I'm talking to this guy's wife. I'm like, oh, here, hold on, let's Google it. Google it, dude, and it opened up to the thing I was watching the night before. It was the most embarrassing thing ever. It was fine, but fucking, it was like RedTube or something came
That
up. on my
Joe guy
phone.
is that Joe guy's a
Dude.
creep.
I mean, like, this dude's wife was super cool too. Like, I'm like talking to her. I'm like, oh yeah, I think we're trying to find like the scoreboard for the tournament. I'm like, oh yeah, let's just Google it. I'm like, oh, fuck.
See, nowadays with incognito mode on iOS,
I had it on
Oh.
incognito and it opened
No.
to incognito.
but with the new
Still,
operating
yeah.
system,
Oh,
it blurs
man.
out the screen until
you
it
imagine?
verifies your
Oh, does
face and
it?
everything.
Yeah.
And,
That was,
yeah.
dude, it was funny. Like, we laughed, but I was like, oh my goodness.
She was like, you watch the same stuff I do.
She's like, wow, we have
What
similar
you doing
interests.
later?
Oh, you like cake farts too?
I thought I was the only one.
Cake farts is amazing.
Sorry, Cellar West. I like your beer.
Yeah.
They're like, why do we send these fuckers beer?
Yeah.
I had a thought that went through my head earlier before the porn talk.
Meatspin.com.
Got you all distracted.
Is that still around, by the way? It's got to be.
I don't know. I'm not going to go.
Jason,
go
ahead and see if that's still around.
We talked about, I mentioned how I went into this thinking, okay, I'm not going to look at this beer from a green cheek point of view or from a cellar maker, West Coast Pilsner point of view. Is it insulting or I kind of want to send them beer back and be like, this is what we drink here. And not that you have to change your beer, but just so you have some perspective on where we're coming from. Because a West Coast Pils from Green Cheek is like super. It's IPA levels of hoppiness.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cellar West has their own house character, and I think
and I'm not trying to
just like Sierra Nevada or whatever. There's a definite like Sierra Nevada Pale Ale is not like. It could be considered a West Coast IPA, or
I just mean in terms of sharing beer and nothing.
Yeah.
Because I like this beer a lot. I would buy it again.
Well, look, if they want a care package, they let us know and we'll send them one. But I don't think we should just be like, thank you for sending us beers. Here are some beers you can study to learn how to make beer better.
Jason, you're framing it in the wrong light, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
I meant they were gracious enough to send us what.
And so far,
16 beers.
But again, next time, I don't think this beer is an unsuccessful beer. So the implication that we need to be like, let's send them a good one, is now you're the mean one, John.
Yeah, well, you're making me the mean one.
I think what's wrong with this beer. Not that there's anything wrong with the beer itself, but like here's the problem: is style categories and putting a beer in a category that nothing really fits in a box, right? So this beer isn't exactly a West Coast Pils, right? But it's a damn good beer on its own. It's got a hoppy character on a light crackery backbone, and I think that sort of qualifies it.
I do think that we are taking for granted that style categories, especially in availability, are still very regional in this country. Like as much as craft beer has nationalized and you can kind of get good beer everywhere, like talking to people from other parts of the country, like the types of styles that are popular and available are pretty variable throughout the country, right? And so like, and again, if I'm looking for a hoppy Pilsner, this beer nails that perfectly. Like I don't think they miss the assignment. I like just because it tastes different than Timbo doesn't mean that it's not to style. And I don't think,
and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in our region the beer's different. That's all. And
I don't think it's different in that any IPA is different, but I don't think the formula is different.
What?
It's different in that fucking Swamis and Sculpin are different IPAs. Like hoppy beer inherently tastes different, but I don't think they didn't do the formula the same way. It's just a different approach to it.
I don't think I'm criticizing how they did anything with the beer. I'm just saying when I open this and I have a certain expectation in my head of West Coast Pilsner, it's because I'm from a region where it's a little bit different. And I wasn't trying to be insulting by saying, I'm going to send them Green Cheek beer and show them what West Coast Pils actually is. I was saying, this is my perspective. And that's it. And it's not, I mean, I could see how they could take it as an insult or how what you're saying, Jason, maybe I shouldn't do it unless they request it. But it's, I didn't mean it in a bad or degrading way. I was just saying, the last year, West Coast Pils has been blowing up here, and it's almost to levels of IPA as far as hoppiness goes, and that is my perspective.
Orange, California won 2 out of the 3 medals in hoppy Pils at the World Beer Cup, right? So Green Cheek and everywhere. So like we are the capital, Orange County, baby.
And if this is what if they want to brew for a West Coast Pils, it's a great West Coast Pils. But it's also a regional West Coast Pils, and I don't think that's controversial to say. If I hurt their feelings, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. That's all.
I think there's kind of like a undercurrent of like, well, there's the right way to do it, and then there's this, and like I just think it's they have a different approach to how they hop beer, and again, like if I went to Smog City and got exactly this beer, I would not be surprised at all. And
totally.
Like this is exactly the kind of beer Smog City would make
Sure.
in a hoppy beer. And it's just a different approach to hopping than other breweries use. So it's not like, oh, you guys missed it. You didn't. It was, they made a hoppy Pilsner and they used a completely different hop profile than most people would use.
It's kind of the same way I'd think of a hazy IPA from California, and if I got one from Vermont. If I got it, say I didn't know Hetty's Hopper was an East Coast brewery, or from an East Coast, but the Alchemist wasn't an East Coast brewery. And so I look at the beer and go, oh, it's a hazy or whatever. And I don't know, this is falling apart quickly. But it's like if I would look at it and go, where's this from? Oh, it's from this area. So then in my brain, I'm adjusting and going, okay, I'm probably going to get this, and this is going to be like this. So my expectation is going to be this. And it could be that, or I get it home and I open it and say I never had it. I open it and it's like this version of a hoppy beer or that version of a hoppy beer that I'm used to drinking on the West Coast. That's all I'm saying. And so I adjust my expectations for what the style is, depending
I get
on
what
where
you're
the beer's
saying.
from. That's all.
So like if I go to Everywhere and Green Cheek and Radiant, whatever, I get hoppy pills. There's a common thread between those breweries. Like, and those beers taste on a similar level, aside from minor tweaks, house characters and stuff like that. They're very similar. This is not those beers.
Right.
Right.
That's all we're saying.
It's a weird thing that popped in my head when I was listening to you talk. It would be rad for their branding. Like they should change this and call it like what Green Cheek does. Call it a Colorado style Pilsner. That would be cool for them. Because then you could be like, oh, if I go to Colorado, this is you know what I'm saying? Like Colorado style Pilsner.
Well,
like how Green Cheek is California IPA, and it's completely different.
I don't think that means anything to anybody though, where West Coast does.
That's true.
Like you can kind of create your little subgenre of West Coast, like, oh, we're not a West Coast IPA, we're a San Diego IPA. Because you're a subgenre at that point, right?
But I mean,
we're a Rocky style.
They did with 394. They called it a San Diego style pale ale. Like it was cool.
That was a thing. That was a thing for a while, like 6 or 7 years ago.
The 394 pale.
No, the San Diego IPA. They were trying to make that a thing.
I was talking about the Tony Gwynn beer.
That beer is
great.
I remember. It still is great.
Remember I made like an offhand joke about that to one of the brewer guys, and he was like, I can't talk about that.
Yeah. I think there's like a shrine at AleSmith.
Andy Richter,
the tennis player?
longtime friend of the show, is mentioning that nobody makes straightforward Saison anymore. It's always wild, sour fermented Saison and no regular Saisons. What do you guys think of that?
Andy, we have a beer for you.
Funny you should say that.
I don't know if you meant to set us up, but
maybe the final beer from Cellar West, which I think this is where they're probably going to shine pretty well.
Saison.
This thing
this
has
is their farmhouse Saison, 6.3% alcohol, made with Hallertau Magnum and Hallertau Blanc, Pilsner malt, white wheat malt, Munich malt, flaked oats, flaked rye, acid malt, and sugar. And then it's a blend of different Belgian yeast strains.
Saison.
They say they won a 2023 gold medal at US Beer Open and 2024 silver at the World Beer Cup.
John, where's the sound effect?
Saison.
That version of the song, Greg, it's got a thread in there that's like.
I know I did that too. I don't remember, man.
I don't remember that being in there, but
I was drunk one night on double IPAs and making music. It was rad.
On California double IPAs, Greg.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, West Coast California double IPAs.
West Side, Crip walked his way over to his phone.
Dude, this beer smells good. I have not had a Saison in a while.
Wow, yeah, dude.
In a while.
Yeah, I mean, Andy is right. It's a wild coincidence that he mentioned that right before we're about to drink.
I think he saw me. I flashed
the
can.
Know that?
I flashed the can. And
no, he had already posted that when you put the can up.
I did it before too. I was like,
I did post a photo of the beers on Threads, but I don't know if Andy is on Threads because it's still a pretty new social network.
Is it just me, or does this beer smell like a bag of marshmallows?
Dude, this smells good. No.
Oh,
Really?
marshmallow! Wow, it's got that sugary
Doesn't
kind
it?
of thing. Yep. That's so fucking weird that you said that.
No, this has that bright kind of citrus funk.
Mhm.
It's not super funky. It's um Belgian like Belgian funk with some like lemon zest. The malty character comes through on the nose. This just smell and it smells super clean.
Does it smell like coriander to you, John?
No, I don't get really a spicy. I
You
mean,
don't?
maybe from the
Mi-
yeast, but
Mine
not
has like
to
a little bit of a
coriander
spice to it.
levels. Yeah.
No, I definitely get like a coriander note to it, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of coriander. Isn't that pretty traditional in
I
Belgian
mean,
stuff?
saison
You can-
yeast could produce phenols that have
exactly.
peppery, all these like spicy notes to it.
But
And-
there, go ahead.
But one thing that a lot of the traditional Belgian saisons of this wheelhouse will get is they can get very phenolic and very kind of band-aidy, even the good ones. And this one, not at
no
all.
Brett
Like
Zero.
the yeast character is fucking
That is-
phenomenal.
And that's the first thing I look for with a saison is some kind of plastic or bandage kind of character. Not at all. This is just bursting with like the maltiness, like the sweet candy maltiness, citrus, a little bit of the Belgian funk. I guess coriander I could say is there, but like Greg said, it's probably something that's from the yeast character and not necessarily a
Yeah, it's not Brett. I mean, there's no Brett in this beer, even though it says farmhouse. Like Brett is, that Brexelensis or whatever. Yeah, it's pineapple bread.
It's fine.
This has a nice like
They told Golden Brett he had to go to a farm upstate.
I decided to go up to Boulder one time, and we got some saison yeast, and we made ourselves a beer.
Mhm.
They told Golden Brett to go think about the rabbits. And next thing I knew, I was up in the pearly gates.
okay. Dude, this beer has a rad like bright citrus thing to it, like on the middle of your tongue. It's just like I was not expecting it. It is so good.
It is really hard, I think, to get the complexity and interesting flavors that you like in a saison without catching the off flavors that put the beer off, right? Like how often have we talked about like Fantôme and like sometimes you get the fan, sometimes you get the fucking tome. And this is just great. It's like super
very
soft, super drinkable. Yeah, soft is the biggest thing
It's
I get from this beer.
marshmallowy,
Just
soft. Yeah,
And this is almost 6.5%. So
Which is
for
crazy. Yeah.
being as drinkable, it is like it's dangerously drinkable.
I mean,
And,
what's cool about saison in general is that there is no style guideline. It's like they made this beer for farm workers, and because the water sucked, and this is a little bit higher ABV for farm workers, but you put some Pilsner malt, you throw some fucking Belgian yeast at it, and you probably ferment it a little warmer. To get some of those ester profiles to really pop and those phenols to pop. And
they're popping too.
If I was in 19th century France, I would drink 6 of these, get my arm caught in a thresher, and then die at 26.
I'd be fucking stoked.
It'd be
least you
fucking
weren't
sick, dude. Living that European lifestyle, dude.
damn straight.
Walkable neighborhoods.
I can't believe I'm saying this
Cobblestones.
just because I'm not like the biggest saison guy. I think this is my favorite beer out of the bunch of these. This beer's
Definitely.
fucking
It
awesome.
is. No,
It's really good.
It's
I
great.
think the bookends are my favorite, weirdly.
Yeah.
It's this
Same.
one and the Spiral Light. They're just like both of these beers are like you could just drink 10 of them.
Yeah.
It's
They did
so-
mention that this is fermented in the can, so that's an extra little bonus of
really.
It's a little trick
Yeah.
that that's what Sierra Nevada Pale Ale does too.
What
Yep.
is that on the label, by the way? Is that like a
It's a Barracuda.
is that what it is?
I don't know.
Is it
I'm
that
not-
eel?
I was
it
saying,
looks
is
like
that
a
you?
barracuda.
It's
It's
like
a Barracuda?
is that like a flotsam and jetsam thing? from fucking Little
Barracuda.
Mermaid? What were those things?
It looks like it's somebody's tattoo that works at the brewery.
Because it's on the moray one too. It's got the same like fish thing or
Well, that's
whatever
an
that is.
eel. It's a moray eel.
It's a moray eel. And if I worked at
Motherfuckers, you
Cellar
ever been
West,
to the
I would have
aquarium?
that on my calf.
But the saison fish looks kind of like that eel. It could be.
Well, it's also their logo. Like that's
Oh, is
Cellar
it?
West logo. The red part's the fish. So
Wait, what?
That's their
Yeah.
logo?
Oh, yeah, it is. Their
Oh, wow.
logo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. So
I
like
didn't know that. You're telling
the
me that for the
mellow
very first time.
moray is like the eel, which is them meeting with a kangaroo, which is Australia, because it's an Australian pale ale.
But the
So
tying it all together.
but the kangaroo's
Right.
underwater, which is not real life.
Well, he's got bubbles coming up. Like he just dived down there to be like, "Oi, what's up, mate?"
And the turtle.
He grabbed a couple coins to keep his breath down there.
Reef a bit dead, isn't it? Yeah, isn't it? A total
As this-
Australian slang, isn't it?
As this warms up, I get more of that kind of spicy coriander note that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's good, dude. This beer's good. So good.
Mm.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I originally just said marshmallow, but obviously there's a lot more nose happening here that's more herbal and spicy. It's like chamomile meets
Ooh.
jasmine and it's like somebody's herb garden.
Look
It's
at
very
Greg
nice and
busting his
pleasant. It's very
tea game.
soft. It's very soft.
It's not
I like
like
the nose on
herbs
here.
that would be off-putting. You know what I mean? It's all like they work well together, and it just adds. It's like the yeast in this beer is just shining. Like I
Is
don't
it-
know what this blend is, but that they're using, but it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
It's
right.
harmonious, John.
It is. It really is.
it's why that's the only beer that they don't list it. They're like, this is our secret. This one, we're keeping this one.
I'm just saying their label has all the medals this beer's won, and well deserved. This beer's fucking awesome.
Right on.
Right?
Which
What does it say?
medals does
World-
it win?
Says World Beer Cup something.
I just
Oh, no
said
kidding.
this.
I'm just saying.
2023 gold medal saison
I'm
at
saying,
the US
sorry,
Open
I-
Championships.
I'm just saying.
2024 silver medal at Best of Craft Beer Awards. 2024 silver medal at World Beer Cup.
World Beer
And,
Cup's legit.
Porch
I'm just
drinking best saison in Colorado.
I'm just
All
saying
right,
I like,
I like
breweries
porch
who put
drinking
that on
stuff.
their label. It's a
Shout
dick
out to my
swing, and I
porch
like
drinking
it.
homies.
Huh? I was talking about the
It's a
same
dick swinging. What? Who's swinging their dicks?
I was saying when you put the like shit on the label that you've won, like that's a dick swing. I
Oh,
like it.
fuck yeah, right?
Yeah, I like that. I like when dudes do that. Just show it.
I'm like, if I'm at the store and I'm looking for a saison and like I see one with a World Beer Cup logo,
Right.
I'm like, that's
Sure.
the one I'm buying.
I'm buying
Yeah.
that one.
Like
No,
I'm not
totally.
buying no like I don't know.
Tank
like
I can't think
bullshit.
of a beer that I bought.
Joe's Brewery saison. Like no, fuck that shit. I don't need no tapper saison.
I think another issue with saison that I've run into as a home brewer is not getting a full fermentation to where
The 3711 curse.
you get to it's just like raging for I don't know 5 days and then it
And
stops
just guts, yeah.
and then
The
you
yeast
just gotta
goes,
let it
I'm
sit.
too
for-
tired.
Yeah, you let it sit for 2 weeks to let it clean everything up and get rid of all the residual sugar. And this
And then it
that's
explodes
that's
your
the
can.
one thing that has happened to me as a home brewer with the saison, where it's like you're tasting it as you go and like, yeah, this is smelling great, tasting great, and then it stops, and then you pull it too soon, and you get that kind of extra
saying
sweetness. And
That's what you got to use.
I'm hearing life
there's-
issues right now.
There's a saison blend yeast, which is the 3711, which I think is the DuPont yeast strain.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And there's another yeast strain with the blend from White Labs that would help clean it up in the back end because I'm just saying too many sexual euphemisms right now and my brain just cleaning
know
it up.
Clean it up in the back
Like
end.
I
right?
feel like the
Sorry.
3711 reputation was always that like it just never
And it's still
stopped
true to this
it
day.
never stopped fermenting. It was like you
To this day,
canned
that
a
still happens.
3711 saison and your cans turned into footballs.
God, we're sounding like
my-
old brewers. Isn't 3711 the chugger, and the other one is like a White Labs 12 yeast 12?
I don't remember the numbers,
something.
but so my neighbor down the street bought himself a Grainfather, and he makes saison to have on tap in his little garage pub, and he had the same problem. He's like, I use this yeast, and it stopped at 1025 or something like that. And he's like, what do I
Mhm.
do? I'm like, dude,
Let it sit.
swirl it around, heat it up, like throw it out there,
WLP
and get it up to
565
Yeah,
565.
565 and
That's the
4711.
one that will stall on you, and 3711 is the guaranteed will not stop fermenting yeast.
Okay.
Yeah.
It will not stop fermenting even when you want it to.
Yeah. It'll
Just
just
the reputation.
eat
it has.
everything.
Yeah.
It
and
will ferment
3711
through
smells like soap.
the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
if you're
honestly,
using Saison with 3711 yeast, it's probably good to use if you're going to drink that keg within like a month, because
exactly.
But bringing up like DuPont in comparison to this beer, and like DuPont is kind of the standard for the style, right?
Mhm.
And DuPont's always a little bit phenolic. There's always a little bit of off flavors in there
very
by
free.
design. And this beer
And
doesn't
prickly.
have that. It is just a super drinkable, super interesting. Like every sip, there's kind of something else in there that you didn't quite get last time. Real fucking masterpiece of a beer. They nailed it with this one.
If I'm digging in just a little bit, there's a slight like aromatic note of like grandma's bathroom potpourri, but that's very slim. I would say overall though, I agree with you guys. Like Saisons for me are like my wheel. I love Saison, and like
did make
go
that song.
over the top. If you go over the top aromatically, like fermented too hot, you get one thing. If you go less, you get another. But overall, really, really fun beers. I like that all these beers have this like the subtle lemony character through all of them, which I think is a good house character as well. So Cellar West, high marks, good stuff.
I think also aside from our critiques or our biases or whatever. Okay, me and my bias, it's the beers struck an interesting conversation overall, and it wasn't just like, yeah, it's fine, that's pretty good. Yeah, okay, that's good.
No, very, very good beers.
Yeah, it's I would
Interesting
disagree in a hot minute.
Let's go to Boulder.
I wonder why their logo's an eel.
I know. I want to know that too.
It's a question for another day.
2 weeks from now, it's gonna be like update.
Update. Cellar West has a eel as a
I was
logo
watching
because
it was somebody commenting on it.
You guys want to stop recording?
Yeah, I
Sure.
think that's a good spot.
Okay.
There was a YouTube series where it was like somebody in Las Vegas claimed to see like a fucking alien in their backyard, and they had like, as real of a video as fucking everybody else has. But then the channel that was doing the news, which looked like a YouTube channel that like kind of made their shit look like real news, just kept like posting updates, and they'd be like, update, the family doesn't want to talk. They're saying they don't want us to come in, and they're tired of answering questions about this. And they did like 6 follow-up videos where they're just like, suddenly nobody's saying anything for the UFO house. And it was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like,
Are you just harassing these people at this point?
they would have like reporters like outside of their house. Like, we went up to the door and they said they didn't want to talk to us. It's like, what the fuck?
So go away.
Yeah, right? Oh man, they made up the fucking UFO, the alien, because you could tell because it was an alien.
Just working. Oh,
Sorry to Tom DeLonge, but aliens do not exist.
it's DeLonge.
Fuck.
DeLonghi.
DeLonge.
No, it's DeLonge.
DeLonge.
Didn't you ever hear that story where he's like, I went to Paris.
Sorry.
It's DeLonge. Dude, speaking of concerts, I'm going to see the fucking Foo Fighters on Wednesday night. I can't wait.
Oh, nice. Are they headlining or is it a fest?
Yeah, that's them at Petco Park, dude.
Oh, dope. That should be fun.
Isn't
Like
Joan Jett, the Pretenders opening for them?
I don't know. We got my dad
s-
tickets for his birthday, so we're
I
taking
saw
a little.
Joan Jett once. It was bad, and that was 15 years ago.
I
It
played
looked like
Joan
you're-
Jett's guitar at the Punk Rock Museum.
I saw Joan Jett at Warped Tour, and it felt like your aunt going to a party full of teenagers to be like, "Hey kids, look how cool I am."
Oh,
And
that's
it's-
not fair.
And her whole band was all like 20 years old. It was like, I don't know.
Joan
It was
Jett's
just
fucking cool as fuck. Don't trash her like that. That's not cool.
no. When you're 50 years old, like it's weird
Come on
watching elderly fucking people go out and play their fucking songs from their 20s.
I'm
like,
53.
well, then don't go play "I Love Rock and Roll."
I love rock and roll.
Ding dong.
Ding dong.
They're James turned 62, I think, yesterday or 61.
So
You see his video with the
Should they stop touring? They're like one of the they sell out venues more than Taylor Swift. Like
Hey, Aerosmith just stopped touring.
was it
Finally.
Jason? Someone asked. So it says the Hives and Alex G are opening. I don't know
the
who Alex
Hives
is.
are. Have you heard the Hives, Joe?
No.
Oh god, yeah. I don't know if you like them. They're fucking awesome. They're from Sweden.
Why would you
So
say you
good.
don't know if I'd like them?
Well, they're more of like a
You've
like
definitely heard their whatever their fucking hit was.
Have I?
Yeah.
They played at like sports games sometimes.
Who's Alex G?
I don't know
who
who
that
Alex G is.
Oh. Dude, I remember going to see Blink in Anaheim back in 2013. And I was like, I don't even know who this opening band was, and it was Matt and Kim, and they were fucking awesome.
Oh, Matt and Kim rule.
Yeah, they were dope. Dude. I'd never heard of them.
Did they like weirdly intensely stare in each other's eyes while they sang?
They were like doing weird, yeah. And then she started like climbing up the back thing, and
Yeah.
they were doing all kinds of crazy
Man, the
stuff.
Hives are
Wow,
opening
man,
for.
the back
Now I
thing.
want to go to that. That sounds fun. But I'd go to GC. I just want to see the Hives. They're so good live.
Are they?
You're gonna pay
Yeah.
$350 a ticket to see the Hives
Right.
play a
Yeah.
35-minute set.
No,
Dude, we actually so we bought these tickets for my dad for his birthday, and we got like the whatever sale thing. They were like $105 a piece, which isn't. I don't feel like that's terrible these
That's
days for a
good price.
concert.
Yeah.
No, it's not bad.
There's like 7 of us going, so we're like we
Dude.
rented one of those Mercedes Sprinter things and drive us down to
Fucking-
Petco.
Fucking Josh Groban is
Oh,
playing
that's
at
cool.
Yamava. Do you know what Yamava is? Yamava. It's a goddamn. They renamed one of the Indian casinos here to. It
It
used to be
sounds
called
like you're,
San
like,
Manuel, and now
oh,
it's called
Yamava.
Yamava?
Yamava.
Your mother
Ava?
Yamava. Hey,
sounds like a drunk English dude talking shit.
But-
Your mother,
yeah, right, exactly.
Your mother.
your mother, bruv.
But they built a venue at the casino apparently that's like 4,000 seats.
That was San Manuel. Did you say it was San Manuel?
It was San Manuel, and they
Okay, yeah.
used to sponsor the Glen Helen Pavilion, which is like a gigantic outdoor pavilion.
That's
that was-
festival, yeah.
But yeah, they don't sponsor. It's not sponsored by anybody anymore. It's had different corporate names my whole life, and now it is just back to being the Glen Helen Regional Pavilion or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's where the US Festival was Keith
Glen Helen.
Wozniak back in the day.
In 1984. Yeah.
83, yeah. 82 to
Hey.
84.
Not to get content crap here, but just to play a couple Hive songs.
Yeah, maybe I've heard of them.
I gotta
You
pee.
have.
I want to know who's drumming for Foo Fighters these days. Does anybody know?
It's Freese.
Oh,
He's been
Yeah,
there
the,
drummer for Josh Freese. He's been their drummer
12-year-old girl.
for almost a year or so.
well, like I've seen videos of like what's his name, son drumming and like doing all kinds of different stuff.
No, it's Josh Freese. I think he's been in like 9 Inch Nails and oh god. Now I want to look that up first. Josh Freese history. He's a fucking awesome drummer.
Is he?
Oh yeah. Okay, so he came from the Vandals. He's been in Devo, A Perfect Circle, Viva Death, Foo Fighters,
Fucking
Guns N'
Perfect
Roses,
Circle.
Blacklight Burns, 9 Inch Nails, and Sublime with Rome.
Wow, what a unit.
Yeah.
Well, I think I
He's
told you
fucking
we
dope.
just saw Blink at Petco and Pierce the Veil open for them. They're fucking awesome live.
Yeah, they are. They're just a great
Pierce the
band.
Veil's
Oh.
great. And they're a local band.
All right.
was just
can
cool, like-
you tell me if you guys can hear this.
I'm hearing this. I can't.
Can you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
You can?
Because I wanna.
Yeah, don't. You got to talk over a little bit so we don't get content. Yep.
because I wanna.
So Joe should
Oh,
know
yeah.
this song.
Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah.
That's how they go. See? I nailed it.
You did nail it.
Nagled it.
Nailed it.
You know that nagel means nail in German, right?
No,
So
did not
I
know that.
nagled it.
Oh, you should know this one too, Joe.
Nailed it in real life. IRL.
This has been on
Oh, yeah.
commercials.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
sounds like it was like in the Apple iPhone commercial or something.
I think it was in a
You
it was,
bet your ass.
it was in a car commercial, I believe.
Car commercial?
Yeah,
Like a Scion commercial or something?
probably, or like a
Scion.
Mazda commercial.
Yeah. Volkswagen?
Um,
It's from Yugo.
Was Volkswagen the one that did the Farfignugan? Was that Volkswagen?
Pfeffernugan, yeah.
Farfignugan back in the day.
It's not a real word. German.
It's not a real word.
No.
Farfignugan.
Pfeffernugan.
Farfignugan.
And this saison's good.
That's solid, dude. I'm telling you, I never drink that.
Saison's dope.
Yeah. Is that
Thankfully nobody ever did like
Greg?
a West Coast saison. What's that?
Is that one of your favorite styles?
I love saison. Yeah.
Would you say like
It's great.
saison and Kolsch?
Saison, Kolsch, Pilsner. Those are my top three. Probably.
That fucking everywhere Kolsch I had the
IPA
other
is
night
great.
was so good.
Soggy.
I don't think West Coast saison should be a thing. That's
Hoppy saison.
oh my god.
Hoppy saison.
Hoppy saisons are everywhere, dog.
No,
Dog.
not in like this though. Like with
Player.
this being
East
super
Coast
hoppy, I
saison.
don't know.
This 10 years
Oh
ago,
my God, stop.
that beer
Duvel?
but hoppy was totally a common thing that you got.
Dude.
No.
John, by the way,
Well,
I
they
forgot-
made like white APAs, which were like sort of like Hoegaarden, like dry hopped Hoegaarden beers. Okay, come on.
Actually, that Great White, the Sharkinator, whatever the fuck they called it,
Sharkinator, yeah.
that was pretty good.
I forgot
like
to tell you
that
guys, like I came full circle with the 4 Brewer stuff. My best friend was up in Tahoe this weekend. There was a beer festival up there, and he was helping my buddy Zach like pour at their little thing, and he was fucking hanging out with Tony Baggs. I'm like, dude, Tony Baggs sent us beer for-" Yeah, I'm like,
Nice.
that's wild. Tony Baggs' mustache right now is a fucking unit. Have you seen
Yeah,
it?
that's his thing. Yeah.
That thing is insane.
Yeah.
Got aspirations to meet his level of stashery.
Can't do it.
Bro, it's like out to here. It's crazy.
Is
He's
it
like a guitar
waxing
player
it?
from oh god, what's that band?
He's gonna mix you up an old fashioned real quick.
Dude, I couldn't even imagine what that thing looks like when he gets out of the
There's-
shower. It's gotta be
There's
insane.
one YouTube channel I follow that does cocktail stuff, and the guy is like a sketch comedy stereotype of like
Death by Stereo.
like-
that's the band.
dapper gentleman wearing like
I
suspenders.
just made
with,
himself
like,
laugh out loud.
perfect
No, no,
little
no.
fucking mustache.
Jason, I don't mean to interrupt. I'll let you
Yeah.
start over. But Joe talked about Tony Baggs' mustache. I was thinking of a guitar player from a punk band, and I couldn't remember their name. And then I just quit talking. And then you started talking. You said something about stereos, and I was like, "Oh, it's Death by Stereo." So that's the.
You were
Sorry,
stoked
Jason.
on that, dude.
Please start over. I want to hear your story.
That guy does have a pretty sick mustache.
It is.
What is it called? Death by Stereo?
Yeah, they just played at Solaris down here in Marietta. They're around for
What?
Mm-hmm.
I've never even heard of them.
They're like a middle tier SoCal punk band.
it's a
I've
big
actually
one.
really liked them, but they've never really like broken out.
Yeah.
But they're like workers. Like, dude, I saw them play years ago. I saw them play like a Halloween show at the fucking Slide Bar.
Yeah, they
Oh my God, the
That's
slide
why I was
bar's
like-
out of business.
It's funny you said that because I was like, that name sounds familiar. It says they got their name from fucking the Lost Boys.
Mm.
That's funny.
The Slide Bar is out of business. I assume it is. I haven't heard it mentioned in 10 years, but it was always like, yeah, that's a bar that's owned by the guy from Lit, and that was like the claim to
Fucking
fame.
lit.
Turns
Did
out, when
do
it comes to
anything
running a
after the-
business, he was his own worst enemy.
Please
That's what I'm
don't
saying.
lie.
Did they ever do anything after that song?
They became a
Uh,
country band.
They did.
Did they really?
Legit.
They tried to
yeah.
go country, yeah.
Oh, so they're like Machine Gun Kelly.
They weren't bad.
I mean, if
Like
it was
country.
country, it was probably inherently bad, but
I mean, AI does a pretty good job at country music.
right. And those songs are hits because the fan base doesn't give a shit. They just want someone to go truck river good stuff. There you go.
I don't know. The
Done.
Post Malone country stuff's not bad.
Dude, I fucking love Posty.
It's not bad.
Post
His whole
Malone is,
dude, his whole Nirvana thing was great. Like,
yeah,
Can you
he's
talk
way
about
less
that?
of a douche than he should be for looking like how he is.
dude, have you seen that meme that's like, no matter how bad your life is, just know this is how Post Malone started, and it's like him, and it doesn't even you can't even recognize him. It's like, so whenever you're
Total
feeling bad, just know
dork.
that this
Pre-Malone.
is how he started.
Pre-Malone.
Malone.
Pre Malone. He has no
Love it.
tattoos.
No, he does seem like he's had kind of like T-Pain, where like he had this like tour where he just kind of did cool shit and was good at being a musician, and people were like, "Huh, wow, I thought he was just a face tattoo guy." But
I mean, he
actually-
just seems like a super cool dude.
yeah. With
Well, you've
Too
heard his
many bass
interviews
drums.
on Stern, Joe.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he just seems like a fucking cool dude.
Stern
mean,
rules.
he's a little weird, but
Well, I mean,
like,
aren't all artists though?
when he was like asking Howard if he, Howard, do you love my dad? And Howard's like, have I met your dad? He's like, I guess I do. I don't know.
My dad is Carl Malone.
Carl Malone.
And clearly, he was high as balls. when he was
Secret
Malone.
child of Carl Malone, Post Malone.
Carl Malone.
There was
Carl
a
Malone.
big thing, right? Where Carl Malone had a secret kid that was like just a scandal that was in the news.
Yeah, with like a fucking 14-year-old girl, dude.
Yeah.
We talked
I
about
didn't know
this.
that.
How is he not in
Yeah.
jail?
Because nobody cared about banging underage girls until like 2008.
Especially in Utah. Actually, that was before Utah. That was before
Seriously, it was like explicitly the reason you got rich and famous was to bang teenagers until like 2010.
Oh,
Utah. And that's how Elvis made it, right?
Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
They all did. They all were. It was like every rich and famous person was like, yeah, and if she's a few years shy of legal, let's write a song
Jason,
about
this
it.
is an
I tried to
insanely
become rich
blanket
and famous at
accusation.
one point.
Everyone?
Jesus.
I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying it was very like normal.
I'm not saying everyone, but just about everybody.
Like there'll be like every boomer era musician, people will be like, can you believe they wrote about fucking a teenager in their autobiography? And it's like, all of them did.
That's actually
all. That's all they did.
Fair
That
point.
was like their whole fucking thing. And people looking back now, they're like, how can you fucking like Steven Tyler's on fucking American Idol and he wrote about fucking a 15-year-old. And I'm like, I got some bad news for every musician from that era, period.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
all fucking 15-year-olds. It was like no one gave a
Isn't
shit.
that crazy, by the way? Like nobody cared.
Dude, 16-year-olds were bringing like 25-year-old dudes to prom when I was in high school.
Dude, didn't you? Oh, you didn't watch that. There was the thing about the 1990 Yankees. Mel Hall literally was on the Yankees and brought a fucking 16-year. He went to her prom. He was on the Yankees and went to her prom.
Why would you go to prom?
And
you're
they
a
put
baller
it.
at
And they
that
put
prom.
it in the dude. And they put it in the Yankees yearbook at the
Stamps?
end of the fucking season. It's him
See?
and this 16-year-old
Wow.
chick at prom. Like, what is
Right.
happening? This is insane.
I went back to this lager, and man,
I tested mine.
this is good. This
I
is.
want to open a Green Cheek West Coast Pilsner, John. Is what I want to do.
You should do that.
I feel
Hold
bad
on.
for.
Hold
saying
on a
that
second.
stuff.
I'm gonna
I
do
don't know.
it.
I didn't mean to come off like Jason thought I was coming off. I really didn't.
It did feel a little bit like it was like you guys missed the mark. This
No,
is
you know I wasn't saying that, Jason. Come on, give me a break.
My
I was
least favorite
not
beer was the
saying
pale ale.
the pale ale
That was rough.
was off. Yeah, it was just
That
unbalanced.
Vic Secret is crazy.
All right, John.
All right, what do we got here?
Oh, here we go. He's busting out the best in the world.
What
All right,
good
I've
curse
got a
can you
West
throw?
Coast pale ale myself.
West Coast Pilsner with Motueka.
I'm gonna bust out a Timbo.
See, now Joe is literally doing like in real time
I am.
I'll be right back.
comparing.
We're gonna do this. We're
feels
fucking
bad.
doing it, John.
It
Get
feels
Jason
bad,
with
that's
the
all.
goat.
Jason with the swams.
That's all I got.
Yeah, dude. So this is. You're really right.
Dude, we're hearing a live Joe review.
You're really no, dude. You're really right. You're correct.
Swamis
fucking
is
different.
what I got.
Dude, right? And all I was saying was perspective matters, and I come from a perspective of
smells
living near San
insane.
Diego, and that's it. How's the nose?
It's good.
I think the problem I had with the comparison and why I thought it was it's just inherently being like, yeah, but compared to the best versions of that style in the world, this beer is not quite there. And it's like,
No.
well, that's true, but that's every beer, right? And so it felt like it was unfair framing where you're like,
But they could send
well,
their beers to someone in Vermont. Again, that maybe a Vermont brewery has their own super awesome East Coast style pills, and it's not going to be the same. And they might say, "Okay, I'm looking at it from this point of view, and this is just no." I just keep digging deeper. I'm just going to stop.
I'm just laughing thinking about like if someone sent like a double IPA, John would be like, well, if you drink Pliny, like maybe we should just send him that to be like, hey,
That's kind of how
no,
it came off.
You're making me
Yeah.
feel
No,
worse.
it didn't come out. It didn't come out bad.
It's
Alright.
like the existence of better versions of this beer does not mean that they did this beer wrong or that this
No.
beer is not to style. And that felt like by bringing up those beers, it felt and being like, I need to
How can
send
I
them
not
these
though? I
beers.
live
Right.
on the fucking West
Right.
Coast.
No, you're right. And John, that's why when we talk about like, I always say that like, I talk about how these other breweries, and I do this when I review beers a lot. Like if I get a West Coast style beer from the East Coast, I'm like, this is, I mean, okay, in its form, it's a West Coast IPA, but this is not the shit we're drinking out here.
Sure,
And, like-
but I was just putting it in context. That's all.
Right. No, you're right. I know
mean-
I totally know what you meant. And it wasn't like you weren't, it wasn't.
I'm
you
not
weren't
looking for
talking-
any kind of what. I'm just saying. I think Jason was a little harsh in me being like, here's some really good. I mean, if I sent them, I'd be like, yeah, this is actually really good West Coast pills, but from my perspective. And I
John
don't
is
know.
here to temper any criticism, even of him.
I am. I mean, maybe they're inspired by it. Maybe they smell it and drink. They're like, "Holy shit, what is
Right.
this?"
No, you're
And
right.
then they do something completely new in the Colorado Rocky Mountain scene. Like, I don't know.
Dude, there's plenty of people who send me like West Coast style IPAs from the East Coast, and I drink them, and they're fine, they're good. But I'm like, let me send you something, and then I send them like,
For all I know, they've
Oh,
been
bro.
to World Beer Cup, or they've been to whatever GABF, and Green Cheek was there, and they've had their beers, and they didn't like their beers, but they said, okay, this is what Green Cheek thinks a West Coast Pils is, so we're going to make our own version of that. I have no idea. I'm just saying, I was giving my perspective. That's
are you
all.
drinking Timbo, Greg?
Timbo,
I-
baby.
I do think offering to send beers in response to a beer is inherently insulting, unless they ask.
It wasn't. He's not going to just send it. I know that. It's fine.
I've been having an email communication with this guy for a month. Like, it's not like I just gave him an address and that was that. Like, we've been
No,
talking.
but on the show we said to the public that we're gonna send them beer so they can learn.
I didn't
how to
say
make
that.
beer.
I said, what if?
Why are you staring?
Okay.
Greg, that
you
beer.
could be like, "Hey, this tastes like this versus that," but you don't have to be like, "I gotta mail them some Firestone so they."
Look
can,
what I got going
they
on
can
right here.
learn."
Just staring at me.
Now it's Firestone.
Hi, buddy.
Just staring. Just fucking staring at me.
Dude, he's like fucking Shady Vance over there.
Is that Nelson?
It's Nelson.
Is
Nelson's
that a
just staring at
cassette
me.
tape? Carpet
It is, dude.
or rug?
Yeah.
That rules.
What is that rug?
It's a like a cassette tape.
It's the
Oh,
Memorex
it is.
one,
Look
right?
at that.
I recognize that teal. It was like purple
Nice.
and teal and yellow. It was like very
Yeah.
90s.
Is it the TDK tapes?
It is.
Oh, is it TDK?
Yeah.
I thought it was Memorex.
Did I ever tell you a story about?
You know what? It might be Memorex. TDK, I think we're all like smoky,
They're red.
translucent. Are they red?
Yeah, TDK
I-
were all
I
like
Googled
80s
it.
style.
Okay.
Dude, so like my whole thing in high school is I used to make mixtapes for girls, and
baby.
like a
That's how you
year.
Yeah, we all did.
So you
while I
got
was younger.
Angela. She's like,
Well,
"Aw."
so hold on. So a year
Oh,
before we even
tried
started
to, yeah.
dating,
Never worked.
dude, she worked at it was a place called. Did you guys have Boston Market down here?
yeah, it was super
Yeah,
gross.
I've only ever had it in catering. It feels like no, I don't know whoever
Not
went
good.
there on purpose.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
And
I-
it's
gross.
dog shit. Yeah, they made mashed potatoes bad somehow.
did they? So she worked there in high school, and the one
It's like
night.
a bad version of KFC.
Thanks, Ange.
I'm saying, so the one night she's working the drive-through. This is a year before we're even dating, and I'm like, "Fuck this!" And I made a mixtape, and I went through the drive-through and ordered some mac and cheese, and I paid with the mixtape and gave it to her. And drove
Dude, this is so baller.
away. Dude,
Oh my
Bro.
god.
she did
Like-
say it was like one of the best mixtapes she's ever gotten. I'm like, of course it was.
What was
I
on the mixtape?
Did you make it like chicken?
Oh,
Was it all
chicken
like
theme?
It was like
R&B
Shy,
stuff?
Boys
Like-
to Men, Jodeci. It was all slow. It was
Yeah.
90s R&B. dude.
Oh, slow jams, like straight
Oh,
up
yeah.
slow jams mixtape.
Escape, it had all kinds.
So
of
I
good
never
stuff.
made mixtapes because I didn't date in the 90s because I was a fat nerd. But
Same.
but I did make mixed CDs a lot.
Oh yeah.
And Matt and Kim, as you mentioned, was definitely on some of the mixed CDs my wife and I made each other when we
Nice.
first met. Yeah.
That's awesome.
For
Yeah.
every decade of my life, I have a mixtape CD that I've given away at birthday parties.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, like at your like 40th
And I'm-
birthday, you're
I've-
like, hey,
yeah,
it's
here's all
Greg's
my favorite
30s.
shit.
Huh,
I remember
like it.
My
And a
freshman year of
playlist
college,
for that now. It's cool.
in the dorm, someone had a CD burner, and we were like, "Fuck, we can make CDs! Like this is the coolest thing ever." And we went on what was the shit that Lars Ulrich fucking got shut down?
Napster.
Napster. We downloaded a bunch of shit
Napster.
from Nap, and we just started making CDs for people. It was the best.
Dude, Napster was so cool. It was like I'm living in the future. I can just download
I
whatever I
did
want.
Usenet. I still use Usenet.
Dude, I'm saying we
old
had the
school internet
Eminem
time.
CD before it even came out. Somehow it was fucking rad.
I had the underground shit that he did with Scam. I got that on IRC though, so that's not really a.
IRC's cool. Yeah.
I sat
I
in
mean,
the
but
Toltec
is
building.
it Usenet cool?
I used Usenet a lot for a while.
I mean, I
In the
still
old
use
days.
it like to this day.
Torrents are generally better.
I mean,
I know
torrents.
If you have a
thing.
good
You have
torrent
to share
site.
though. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
have to
fine with
share
that.
shit for Usenet.
I basically bought a Synology NAS so it could be my BitTorrent server.
Yep.
So I wouldn't have to run my desktop all day and use up all my fucking electricity. And it was a big, it like literally cut like $30 a month off my electric bill when I stopped running my fucking computer all night.
That's so funny.
That reminds me, what's going on the BitTorrent sites? Let's see.
You know
Hey,
what's funny
five-
about
Hey, five
Napster?
people, what's going on piracy right now?
Like when we were 18-year-old kids in our dorm, like fucking pirating all this music, we're like, what's the big deal? Like, we've already bought this stuff like a while ago. Like, they have our money. And now that I think about it as an adult, I'm like, we were fucking just stealing everything. It was so bad.
Yeah, here's my NZB finder, which is Usenet, and so you download this NZB thing, which is like a map of where all the binaries are on Usenet.
Are these all like movies that are
And-
like out in the theater right now? What is this?
I mean,
you don't generally
yeah.
get theatrical stuff anymore. Like they've
You guys
actually
watching
gotten
like
pretty,
Deadpool right now?
No, like they've gotten pretty good at cracking down on that.
Yeah, they'll
Windows-
delete new stuff.
Well, like there's no good copies of like
I mean,
only
Deadpool
copy
2
of
is due,
Deadpool
right?
Wolverine is going to
that's old.
be Deadpool and Wolverine's going to be a fucking cam.
Like that's
Like
it right
I
there. Right?
guarantee it's somebody filming a screen with their fucking phone or whatever.
I don't know. Download it
like,
right now.
Hey, dude, I've done that before. I've watched those.
My site, which is for refined gentlemen,
My gentleman.
I mean, Usenet's pretty dope.
doesn't have any copies of that movie, and I bet you it's because whatever that is looks like absolute dog shit.
Well, we'll see.
And because the window's like a month now, so like in a month it'll be on fucking streaming for $20, and then once it's there, then you get unlimited high quality rips. So
It's so crazy. Like I couldn't even tell.
we're
you
gonna
the
get
last
we're
movie
gonna
I
get like
saw.
a Twitch strike for talking about piracy. I bet. Is that a
No,
thing?
I mean, I don't know what I'm downloading. It could be anything.
We're just visiting websites.
It could be ping pong balls. You never
It
know.
just says Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't.
I haven't been to my
man.
website in a while. There's a lot of
It's
new
a
stuff.
1080p x284.
So
AMC,
I've got the new Quiet Place movie, the new Bad Boys. I saw the TV Glow, Maxine.
My kid said the new
Fall
Bad
Guy.
Boys is awesome. By the way,
The new Quiet Place is worth pirating. It's not great.
That's
I mean,
worth
it's
stealing.
good.
I
We
don't like
we
the
saw it in the
Quiet Place.
theater.
I thought it was fine.
I'm not advocating for pirating, but if you were to pirate, I would pirate that movie.
If I'm not pirating, I'm the captain now.
I'm not advocating for stealing, but if you're gonna steal something,
Do not
that's the way
steal
to do it.
movies, but if you're going to steal movies,
No,
I didn't
I
like
own
the last
this.
Quiet
I own
Place,
that one.
so I don't even remember the second movie. I know I saw it, but I don't remember anything about it.
The first one's like a prequel. It shows you how the Quiet Place.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to learn. Like, don't explain it. Like, the whole thing is like we're in this crazy world and these monsters kill you if you make noise. Cool, got it. That's all I need to know. I don't need to explain it. Like John Wick, every movie ruins it more. It's like they're like, we're gonna explain more of this cool world. It's like, no, there's a badass world of hitmen. John Wick's the baddest hitman. Everyone thinks he's the coolest motherfucker in the world. Done. Get it. I don't need to know exactly like how many fucking Russians he killed to get venerated as John Wick. Like,
Yep.
just let him be John Wick. There can be some mystery to it. We don't have to explain every fucking thing.
What did you guys watch the new Furiosa movie? I don't know
No.
if you've seen
Never
it.
heard of
No,
it.
I just
Very
download. I'm
good.
just downloading it
Watching
on my torrent site. Though.
Olympics.
I watched it last night. I paid for it, by the way, and it's
Definitely
good.
didn't pirate that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm paying for this.
I've been
You
watching
know,
Olympic beach volleyball.
the CGI looked really
Those booty
mid in the
sacks.
trailers,
Dude,
which is weird because the first
Unreal.
movie looks so good. Like the first Mad Max was like a triumph of effects, or not the first, but the Fury Road.
Yeah.
And then Furiosa just looked like a cheaper bootleg version.
You know
of
what,
Fury
Jason?
Road.
Many times in the movie, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It looked. I don't know. The first one had like grit to it, and it felt like it. In the way it starts, especially with where it's like, boom, you're in the fucking game.
Yeah.
And it's
And-
just like nonstop. And not that I'm saying the second movie should be nonstop action, but it felt like a digital version of Fury Road. If that
Right,
makes sense.
and I know they used a lot of CG in the first movie, but they used it in a way that it looked great. And the trailer for this one just didn't look great. And everyone I know who's gone and seen it, they've been like, "Yeah, there's a lot of really dodgy CGI in it."
I got to the point in the movie where I'm like, I just need to set that aside and not think about it and just enjoy it for the story. And then I started to like the movie. So
Yeah, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to go to the theater.
yeah, that's.
I did get tickets to go see Deadpool Wolverine though on Wednesday.
I have to see that in the theater because that's going to be awesome. I'm a huge Deadpool fan. Oh my
the
god,
boys just saw that in the theater and said it was great.
It broke the record for R-rated movies. I think made more money than any R-rated movie ever.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
more than Basic Instinct.
The prior record was held by
Times.
The Passion of the Christ, actually.
Wow.
Is that true?
Yeah. If you remember, that movie was rated R because it was like super violent. But like, because it was about Jesus, like everywhere in Middle America, like would send their fucking church group down there and shit. They literally like buy the whole theater.
Bussing people, yeah.
I never
We're
saw
all
that
gonna
movie.
go see Passion of the Christ.
It was such a bad movie too.
Yeah, it's bad.
Never saw it.
Don't watch
Yeah,
it.
let's do a Four Brewers watches the Passion of the Christ.
John, what's your beer style of choice when
Commentary?
you're sitting down to watch a movie? Do you need something that you're going to pour and like sit with for the whole movie and not have to get up?
Depends on the length of the movie, right? So if it's something that's super short, like a Pixar movie, maybe a couple IPAs, but like
are you pouring like a big barrel aged stout and like sitting down and hunkering down?
Dude, I can't remember the last
Wow.
time I had a barrel aged stout. Like,
I have them occasionally because I'm still trying to like whittle
Work
down
your way
my
through 'em.
cellar.
You're whittling?
I tend to just give those away at this point because it's if like
I have
know
no one to
like
give
a-
them to. I just got to drink.
If
so.
there's going to be like a 4B, patron somewhere that I know about ahead of time, then I'll bring a bottle and be like, "There you go, that's for
Dude,
you." I paid for the beer. It's not like I got
if
it
you're
for
a
free.
4B Patreon, you can come to our bottle orgy where we're all gonna bring 4 cases of beer that we're desperate to get rid of, and you just
give
take
away.
literally whatever the
Bottle
fuck
share
you want.
playa.
You don't have to drink it here. You could take it home. Just I don't want to bring any of this shit back. So take something, open it, drink it. Like it's not a bottle share. It's a bottle like
Bonanza.
Bottle bonanza. It's like, look, here's all the bottles, and I literally will not bring any of these home. They're not leaving here with me, so they can leave here with you. Or I don't know, go in the trash, but I'm tired as fucking beer.
Dude, I kind of want to do that like with my glassware, like have a big bottle share and be like, whatever glass you pick, you get to bring home the glass. Like, don't breweries do that?
Yeah,
You get to bring home the glass.
Dude,
that you
when we moved,
fucking-
I think I threw away like 200 glasses.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Just from different like stone tastings and whatever
Yeah.
tastings, festivals.
Dude,
I have so many Sour Fest
I
glasses.
cleared out a bunch of fucking glasses to Goodwill. But even then, I like had like a second tier of glasses that I kept, but I'm like, we
Same.
have to sort through. And then most of them are still sitting in my garage. Like when I remodeled my kitchen, I just left them out there and I need to fucking
Yeah,
get
we got
rid
a
of them.
box in the pantry with the glasses I wanted to keep, and they're still in the pantry. And then in the cabinet where we have the actual glasses that we actually use them, and it's like maybe 20 glasses. And now that I have 4 new 4B glasses, I got to get rid of 4 shitty glasses. from the
You
pantry.
get like a Duvel tulip and like a couple of these, and you're good. And like some pints, you're fine.
And some
You
glasses.
don't need that many glasses.
We got to set up a thing to open these stone beers and taste them somehow together.
They're all going to be bad though.
I
We're
think
gonna
we should
cry.
have the 4B sleepover. We all go to John's house. We each get a bedroom because he's got 17.
Chateau
And
de
then
John.
we do at least one show where we drink all the stone shit. And like, I don't know, we just we get drunk and do a bunch of nonsense. I think it'd be fucking fun.
That would be fun. John, I'm down to invite myself over to your house and do that.
Let's do
Joe,
it.
you're welcome to come over. Like everyone's welcome. Greg, I think he's the only one who hasn't been here yet. So
No,
I have not.
Before
have
we
I,
sleep
no,
over
I haven't
here.
been to that house that
Men
you're in.
feet.
I was at your
well,
old house.
no, not Joe. Of course, you haven't. But I'm just saying from the 4B OGs. Well, I guess.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
We can go to OG's
Greg hasn't
Pizza.
been here and Joe hasn't been here. How about
OG's
that?
Pizza's good, dude. It used to be. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
not.
left coast dudes.
They built one right here, and I never go. I'd rather go to Boston's across the fucking.
I haven't
street.
been to an OG's
Boston Market.
No, Boston's.
since probably 2004 was the last time I was in OG's.
I've never been to OGs. So
It's bad.
They used to. There was
It's
one.
the left coast brewing dudes own it.
Yeah.
I'm saying it was
So you
right
know.
in. There's an IKEA parking lot that was right next door to the old Jack Murphy Stadium, and so we would go and have beers
The
and pizza there
Murph. Yeah, dude.
before we went to Padres games.
OG's is like BJ's with worse beer and less selection on the menu.
have I been to that IKEA? Is it?
Probably.
It's by a stadium.
Stadium.
Where
It's
they-
right down by
Yeah.
Qualcomm.
Parking lot says you can't park in the stadium.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
my
I
family
didn't-
that lived
once,
there.
yeah, once the Murph went away, now that's where they built the new SDSU stadium, which is really fun.
Murph?
Okay.
The Murph.
But yeah,
I've
you've been
been
to that
to
IKEA
IKEA.
for sure. I used to.
I
dude,
gotta
It's
say-
leveled.
one
That
of my
IKEA
college.
it's closer to me now than the Covina IKEA is. The
Oh,
Covina
really?
IKEA is literally like an hour and a half away without traffic, and it sucks. It
Get
was
some
far away
meatballs.
when we lived in Mobile. So
Yeah, one of my first college apartments was right up the hill from there, dude. We used
They
to.
were-
It was awesome.
They were
Cool.
building an Ontario IKEA, and like there was an address and everything, and like construction had started.
Jason,
and
do you
then
remember the
COVID hit.
Fontana IKEA
Yeah, I remember it.
on Slover?
Yeah,
That was
where
the worst
Target
one.
is.
It was so bad, but it was
What's
like
the
it's an
worst one?
IKEA.
I never actually went there because it opened when I was a teenager and a furniture.
Do you guys know I used to work at IKEA?
Did you really?
No,
Yeah, I was a decorator
Nice.
and
Really?
a sign writer. I wrote the sale signs.
You're like
had
Swedish
to learn-
meatballs.
I don't care about the
$1.
science, but you
I was
were a
gonna say-
decorator.
I had to learn the IKEA font
Yeah.
and how to write exactly how IKEA
Can you still do it?
IKEA sign writers all around the globe write in one font, and I had to learn that font. And I still
you
fucking
still do it?
remember it. Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
do it?
it sucks.
Can you make me like
Oh.
a sign with my name on it in the IKEA font? And I'll put it.
Yeah.
in
I
the
sure can. Yeah,
We
just
did
give me the
Fort
right
Brewers logo in
markers.
the IKEA font.
It's the only job I've ever been fired from in my entire life.
Why?
As a decorator, we all had jokes, and we would put jokes in the back of display items.
Uh-oh.
And
Okay, you say no more.
Greg's got like.
No, I want to hear the joke,
Greg,
but this is the most Greg reason to get fired.
yeah,
ever.
totally, it's the best. So it was like we would like write all kinds of funny shit on the back of displays, and part of the displays was like we'd leave like one half of it originally how it was, and then like to show customers like here's how you can customize this item, like paint the other side or whatever. And on the back, I'd write like congratulations, you bought a piece of shit or something like that.
Oh.
And it was the last, like there was a shelf sconce thing that was one of those items exactly. And then I show up to work at like 7 a.m. and I get like Greg Nagel, please show up to please come to the office. I'm like, okay. And it's the item is sitting on a table with like 3 people from like the manager, the HR lady, and shit. They're like, did you do this? And I'm like, yep. Like, okay, today's your last day. Here's your final check. Goodbye. I was like, sweet, later.
heck, it worked.
I hated that job, dude. Because I worked in as a decorator, I worked in a group of there was like 10 ladies, and I was the only dude. And they would make me do all like the paint stripping and fucking like ripping up tile.
The grunt
So
work.
every day I was like their construction worker and just coming home beat for making like I don't know, it was like $15 an hour or something at the
Okay.
time, like
Holy
early
smokes,
90s,
like,
right?
you did-
$15 an hour?
In the 90s. Yeah, that was a cool job,
actually
right?
good
And
fun,
then
yeah.
and then you got like crazy discounts on all IKEA furniture, which is rad. So my entire house at the time looked dope.
So
But,
you didn't have a
yeah,
voice in
I-
like designing the rooms or anything. You just had to like do
No, I was in charge of like the lighting department because I'd done that before,
I love the lighting
setting up the
department, yeah.
displays and stuff like that.
I was gonna tell you, the
That was
first
a
job I
crazy
ever got-
fucking job.
First job I ever got fired from was Ralph's. I worked at the grocery store. I made $7 an hour, and this is like 2001, dude. So $15 an hour in the 90s at IKEA, like that's legit.
Oh, it was dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an apartment and everything. Yeah, it was rad.
That's fucking awesome.
Dude, Daisy makes $20 an hour at Villains. Like she's
Dang,
rolling.
really?
She's got
Thanks,
Ballin',
California.
she's racking it.
ballin'.
It's like I just got a paycheck of $300. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
kick some down to your dad who got the
Dude.
job.
My first job, I worked for the city of Folsom in high school, dude. I made $6 an hour, and my paychecks paid for my gas and whenever I wanted to go out to eat with my buddies. That was it.
I
There
am.
I worked
my
for
first-
my high school at
Oh.
AB Miller, and I worked at the career center for 2 to 3 hours a day after school.
A.B. Miller, like Anheuser-Busch Miller.
No, AB Miller.
Azario Blanchard Miller. He is one of the founding fathers of Fontana, California.
And
Tucket.
my job was to basically organize books and make spreadsheets, and then after that that was like 95, 96. I would go on Netscape and go to like Metallica's website.
Go on Prodigy.
And like look at Metallica photos from their shows and stuff, and print stuff on the laser printer and stuff. Yeah, it was super
awesome.
lame.
You're printing some. It's like,
But
what are you
my
printing
boss
on,
was
John?
like, "You are
I don't know.
amazing because you know how to make spreadsheets," and I'm like, "Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then I'll take that." And it
Look
was
at your
I
job
didn't-
security. Was
I
your
didn't get a
spreadsheet.
job where I got paid, but my high school basically recruited me and like 3 of my friends to basically be junior tech support people. It was like an elective period that we had. At one point on senior year, I think some of us had it 2 periods a day, where like we would just
you're just
do-
straight up employees.
we were just doing like computer repair. It'd be like, go set up this desktop in Mrs. So-and-so's office. And we would like go there like, hey, we're here to set up this desktop for you. Okay. Like we were just the IT person.
Child
Um,
labor. That's what they were doing. It was child labor.
Pretty much.
It was better than going to like, economics or something.
Dude, my
Fair
first
trade.
now that I'm thinking about it, my first actual job was in 1989. I was 8 years old. My grandma bought a fucking Baskin Robbins, and me and my sister worked there in the summertime. And I
Yvonne
sure-
worked at Baskin Robbins.
Dude, I remember scooping ice cream. People be like,
Them scoops.
he's 8 years old. He's not making the scoops big enough. And I'm like, fuck it. I would just I would like scoop ice cream and then take the taster thing and then
Can I
eat
get a
ice cream.
man to make my
That's
ice
fucking
cream
8
cone?
years old, dude. I'm like,
You're
what's
like- you're like-
happening?
8
one
years
for
old.
one for you, one for me.
I did.
One for
I
you.
was fucking 8. I'm like, what am I doing? But like,
I love it.
You're in heaven. You're like, this is the
No,
best.
it-
this
dude,
is,
Oh man.
me and my
this is
sister
what
that
being a
one
grown up
summer,
is like. I
dude,
can't
we
wait.
ate so much fucking ice cream. It was the best.
Yvonne worked there, but she got fired for bullshit reasons. It was
I got my buddy fired from Baskin Robbins in high school because he was closing the one night and we didn't know there was cameras and he closed. And me and my other buddy, we had a food fight in Baskin Robbins and it was all on video and fucking my buddy Jason got fired. I was taking gummy bears and throwing them. It was,
Fuck, dude.
dude, it was
Can you
so
imagine?
fun. Dude, there was like a pub right next door, and so Jason would his name was Jason. He would we were at 17. He would trade those big fucking 5-gallon. It's like a 5-gallon tub of ice cream, I think, that's in the center.
like
thing,
a
right?
cardboard.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah, he would
tube.
trade the dudes next door 5-gallon tubs of ice cream for fucking growler fills of beer.
Oh,
Really?
I
It
mean,
was the best.
I think
Fuck Baskin
he
Robbins.
those beer
that
stories.
was probably like $60 worth of ice cream for like
Oh, yeah.
$20 worth of beer.
Yeah, but we're 17. We're like, dude, and we're drinking whatever
Uh,
we're drinking, getting just absolutely wasted. Yeah, he got fired.
Oh my lord!
Well,
My
we
first
have you
job
on-
was working at Target. I was seasonal, and they said we don't need you after the season. I said, "Good."
I don't want to be
Oh,
here
yeah.
anymore.
First job, yeah. First job for me was working at a driving range picking up golf balls.
Oh, you got to
For-
drive the
for
car?
cash. No. These bags that we would start at the back and like just picking up manually.
You know
yeah.
those carts that the dudes drive?
It
that
was
are
like 13
cages?
bucks an hour, dude. It was rad,
How are you making so much money?
dude, and it was cash.
What is happening?
It was
Where,
cash.
where was this at? Like,
Yeah,
what
where was
On
that?
Rialto, dude? At Rancho
Oh,
Verde
Rialto, man.
Country Club. I'd skate. It was all downhill skateboard all the way to my job, and like there was like speed bumps and shit where I'd like fucking rip like
How much?
5
how
foot
much is
airs
that?
off of.
Dude, I almost just asked you if golf and stuff was
Great.
in Rialto, but that was Reseda, right? Where's
I
golf
don't
and
know.
stuff?
Yeah, that's in the valley, dude.
That's Reseda.
It's very far away.
Yeah, Rialto sucked.
Greg caught the tail end of the boomer era when just like any random dickhead could get a good paying job for nothing.
Dude, you're making good money, bro.
And it was like, we'd work for like 1 or 2 hours. So it'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd come home with like $22 a day, 23 bucks a day. It'd be rad.
Yeah, and then you
Buy a new
like
skateboard
could
here
have
and there.
become that guy that's just like, I worked for 2 hours a day and I paid my way through college, so why don't you do the same? And it's like, it's not quite like that.
Man,
anymore.
that was good. I got a job at Federated Group. Do you remember that?
Yep.
No.
It was like a Circuit City like clone back in the 80s. So I worked video rental.
I bought Mortal Kombat for Super Nintendo at Circuit City in Citrus Heights.
There you go. I worked at
Look at
Kmart
my
Portrait Studio for a while.
Which
That's so
where?
awesome. We've taken
Kmart
pictures there.
Portrait Studio.
Of
Oh,
course.
wow.
Do you
I
You
had
ever work at
one-
Industry Remembered in the mall?
Totally.
I had one
I had a bunch of
bullshit
weird
job
jobs
before I became
in high
an
school.
official computer man.
That's cool.
My second job was doing tech support. And fun fact, I just retired that chair. I got a new chair. I had to adjust my camera because my chair sits differently. I've been sitting in the same Herman Miller Aeron chair
The
that
best chair ever.
Earthlink.net bought in the fucking
Earthlink,
90s
dude.
for our
Earthstink.
call center. And then when I got laid off from the call center, they raffled off furniture and I won the chair. And I've been sitting in that goddamn chair since I won it.
Those are dope chairs.
In
You probably just got rid
2002.
of it.
Earthlink was my first provider, and I had issues, and I probably talked to you. I was like, "Hey man, my DNS ain't working so good."
I would, if you talked to me, I probably gave you a modem string and got you connected where other people
Right.
couldn't. That was my specialty. It would be like, yeah, I just can't get my line
Back
to
in my
connect.
56K
It sits there
plus
and it
days.
goes, "Meow," and then it never connects. And I'm like, I got you, fam. And I'm like,
Here's
go to
modem
this
string.
fucking obscure ass field and put in this weird fucking string. You'd be like plus MS equals V34, and then some other shit to like disable fucking the
handshake.
56K shit. And then they'd be like,
Yep.
all right, let's try it. And it's like, oh, well, it worked. I'm like, nailed it, bro. I'm a modem string guy.
Modem
Not
dump.
not all the tech support guys were modem string guys.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Old school nerds. Love it.
You were him.
My first job was at a buffet as a dishwasher. And I was never
Have you tried
fired.
the lasagna?
I was never fired nor laid off. I just went to work one day and it was closed.
Make sure you go to the carving
Catch the
station.
game
You just
today?
showed up and they were done. They were like,
Jason,
fuck it.
actually,
today?
it was the Old Country Buffet in Fontana by the IKEA.
Oh, okay.
Greg,
I
you've
think
seen
it's a
that.
Chinese
Like,
buffet now.
you've seen the video that's on the thing with the carving station guy, right?
Yeah, totally. That's
Fucking
good. That's what I'm talking about.
best, dude. The
I was
best.
not that. Like,
You tried
I did not
lasagna?
want a floor job. I
Hey,
want
crazy weather we're having right now, huh?
and
So,
like we had a dishwasher. I think they're still around. Like it's
The
got
Big
like this
Burger one's
continuous
good.
rack that you put the dishes in. It's just like it's like a conveyor belt and this industrial thing that blasts hot water and whatnot. And it broke one day, and so one of the dudes back there, like it broke, and it's like we got to finish up because it was like 10 o'clock at night. And so he took the panel off. And you're not supposed to fix it yourself, and he put his hand up in there, and something happened, and it fucking ripped
Oh,
the
shit.
skin off, and
Oh,
he's
geez.
like, "Oh no!" And he got fucked up, and like he never came back to work. Like, I'm
no
pretty
wonder
sure
it closed down.
Serves
Dude. He
him right.
fucking he sued him.
Maybe I don't know.
Serves him right.
But it was
How dare you try and fix
I
something?
fucking hated that job. My manager would sit in the back and smoke cigarettes while we're breaking down boxes.
There we go, dude. This is the fucking.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
That's my favorite.
Did you catch a game last night? Is it still hot out there? Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
All
Like,
right.
Speaking of opening my phone to the wrong thing, listen to this music, dude.
Right? He's opening the. He's
You were
asking
doing
questions
stuff,
like, you know, have you guys seen the Jonathan Frakes thing from the Believe It or Not show?
No,
Mm-mm.
What? You guys don't know what I'm talking about?
Jason, you are all internet.
You
yeah,
are.
I'm 100% internet.
I'm like 65% internet at best.
65.
maybe 70.
It's hot out there.
He used to do like the Ripley's Believe It or Not show, and he would just ask questions, and people have edited them together a bunch. Hold on, like he would do questions as the intro, where it'd be like, "What's the tallest man you've ever seen?" And then it would be like, and that's the setup for the thing. And someone just made like a cut of all of these. Hold up.
Oh, okay, I know this.
Oh, no audio.
That's the guy who's like, not a chance. Nope, never happened.
Is there audio?
What is this from?
I don't hear any.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh, it's
Ripley's
okay.
Believe It or Not.
Yeah,
No,
that's-
Unsolved Mysteries was Robert Stack, right?
Yeah, that's the other dude.
That fucking show kept me up at night as a kid, dude. That
What?
in America's that in
Is there
America's
audio,
Most Wanted.
Jason?
I can't hear it.
Oh, you don't get audio?
No, we can't.
We
hear
did
it.
before.
Oh,
but
that's
not-
an
There's a
important
check.
part.
There's a check mark. Check mark.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me fix it.
Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries and America's Most Wanted. When I was a kid, I used to scare these. Oh, I was so scared of those shows.
All
We've
right.
all heard the expression, clothes make the man. Is it really
Nope.
true?
Did you have a favorite book as a child?
Do you have a favorite method of falling asleep?
Is there anything more precious than the gift of sight? Who can explain the mystery of music? We make our own luck.
Can a home ever be truly safe?
Have you checked the back sections of newspapers and magazines lately?
What is the secret of green thumb? What mysteries lie within the frame of a book?
How many dramas have taken place in these tight little books?
How do you describe terror? Have you ever noticed the curious things one sees discarded by the roadside?
Who knows why certain things?
Have you ever experienced a sleepwalking episode? Is there a more
Nope.
job than that of a teacher? Is there a more annoying sound than the screech of chalk against chalkboard?
Nope.
Cool.
Nope. Never happened.
Have you ever walked out of a mall into a huge parking area and realized
Oh my god.
you've forgotten where you
That's
parked
oddly specific.
On mountain biking?
What do you want to be when you grow up? What's the right tip?
You called a plumber to your home lately? How stupid for you?
How much money would it take to make you spend a night in a cemetery? You just this is a trophy? You have a pet?
$5.
You believe in the power of a curse?
Have you had your hearing tested lately?
Planning a trip soon? Can you
This is
remember the
like
tallest
I've
man
seen
you've
this
ever
caption
seen?
like
You love to go
hanging out with a
wandering beneath the
5-year-old.
Clear blue sky.
Have you noticed what big stars real estate agents have become?
Are you careful with your personal records? Does your computer ever seem to have a mind of its
Look at
own?
that printer.
The Chinatown section in a major
This
city?
shit is like the
Free market?
internet
Did you
garbage.
just say,
ads
have you
that
ever been to
get.
the Chinatown section of a major
Notice how
city?
many
You ever seen a grown man naked?
these days?
Have you ever had the desire to write your initials in wet cement?
Yes.
Peel your balls off your leg. You ever have to blow your nose in the middle of the night and blew a blood rocket?
On those dry days.
Fuck
Yes, ma'am.
I'm all Greg.
I'm all great.
I found a TikTok where they take paintings from like thrift stores and they like repaint on them to make them different paintings. And they took a painting of a boat in a lake and they made it into old Greg. It was pretty great.
I saw a Fortnite one. It was pretty cool.
I heard the Fortniters were like making it a policy to kill all Cybertrucks in the game on site.
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah.
Love it. I'm down for it. Solidarity.
Do you guys know how long a fortnight is, by the way?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
All right. Look at you guys. I'm proud of you.
Taylor Swift. Come on.
weeks.
Oh, I didn't know it was a Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah, it's not.
What?
I mean, she has a song called Fortnite, but it's
It's actually about doing the fucking floss dance. It's just Taylor Swift doing the floss dance.
Dude, I was going through old like COVID videos
How
from
long is-
2020, and my kids
how long
just
is
did the floss
Foursquare?
thing.
Can you do the
ooh.
floss, Joe?
I used to be able to do it because the kids were doing it.
I learned how to do it 3 weeks ago.
It's like you do the thing.
I'm not
the
gonna do it
hand
now.
thing. Fourscore isn't
Isn't it like 100?
fucking-
No, 9.
Foursquare's
100?
80 years.
80 years.
Yeah.
Dang it. What did I say? 100? I was close.
7 years ago.
So that was 87 years ago.
I don't know.
Was that? I mean,
I fucking don't know.
I think
Should, right?
87 years before he gave that speech may have been like when America was started. It was like
Yeah,
1860,
Abraham
right?
Lincoln.
Oh, is that what it was?
7 years ago.
1776.
Dude, speaking of Abraham Lincoln, we were just watching Bill and Ted again the other night. Fucking,
Oh, yeah. I
He's-
showed Daisy that.
dude,
She
he's
loved it.
introducing all the people to his mom. He's like Bob Genghis Khan, Herman the Kid.
Such a great movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
I was
You left Napoleon and fucking San Dimas. He was.
I
a
was
dick.
at San Dimas High School for Aiden's band thing. They had a really nice auditorium.
Did they?
I was born in San Dimas, motherfucker.
Socrates Johnson.
John loves San Dimas.
He loves San Dimas.
San Dimas High School football rules.
Where can we find Napoleon? Waterloo. That was not Raging Waters, by the way. So, like, the one thing San Dimas is known for is having a big
Raging
fucking water
Waters.
park.
Where did they
Raging
film
Waters.
that at?
I don't know, but it was at like some shittier regional water park. It was like Raging Waters is actually a much nicer, cooler
Was it
park.
Yucaipa Regional Water Park?
It may have been, but it was definitely not. It was definitely
we got to
not.
look it up. We're talking about it. You don't
It
wanna-
wouldn't be Yucaipa. That's far away. It would probably be somewhere close to
Yucaipa's
the valley. or
hot
some
garbage.
shit.
Dude, when I was a kid, there was a Raging Waters in San Jose. We would go there. They had a 720 machine, and I would go and play 720.
Skate or die.
And then I would fucking go on the. They had that one. There was this water slide that like it was just one. It was like a big like hill. You would go off, and then it would shoot you. Like you flew like 40 feet in the air. It felt like.
Oh,
It was
okay. I maybe am wrong because they said establishing shots were at Raging Waters in San Dimas,
Yeah.
but then the feature shots were at Golf Land Sunsplash in Mesa, Arizona.
There was a
Okay.
golf land in San Jose that was amazing too.
Mm.
Bill and Ted's such
I
a good
wonder why
movie.
they just didn't do it at Raging Waters because it was so long ago. I wouldn't think like it was expensive to film in California, but
No. And
Oh,
in the 80s, they still filmed in California like it was
Yeah.
normal.
What did he say when we walked into Disneyland? He said, "Welcome to the Hall of Presidents." A fucking movie, dude. It's so good.
Did you see that they're doing literally Bill S. Preston and Ted Theodore Logan are on
Broadway show.
Broadway doing Waiting for Godot?
Really?
It's Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, who have remained friends forever. Alex Winter's like a pretty renowned documentarian these days.
Is he
Like,
really?
Yeah, yeah. He's done a couple
That's so
documentaries that were really good. And he also did a movie called Freaked that nobody remembers, and it's kind of like a 90s comedy spin-off of the movie Freaks from the 1930s. It is a weird, fun 90s movie, and like nobody I know has fucking ever seen it.
I've never heard of
It's-
that.
Huh.
yeah, me either.
Is it
It's
on
about a-
streaming?
Can you pirate that?
I found a documentary about Sanctum Brewing on YouTube.
Sanctum?
Yeah, dude.
Boys, guys.
Dude, it's actually really well produced. Like,
The again, Sanctum, the Proud Boys have some good ideas brewery.
That's the brewery.
yeah.
Art of the
yeah.
Brew. 2020. 2020,
Right?
of course.
Didn't they close around then?
Selfish way to say
Around
it.
then, yeah.
We're just trying to stay true to what we wanted to do it for, why we started it, to find something unique or cool.
good
some
audio.
angle to
Okay,
brewing
this
that
dude's
was
a good
interesting,
dude.
Translate that up in ways, and we've kind of defined that over time to mean certain things.
The guy in the
without
hat is
being
the not so
extreme
good
for
dude.
extreme sake.
I think if you stick to your guns and
It's
you know,
a
really,
rookery, dude.
Rookery.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we had our anniversary.
I was like, that guy looks totally. Well, I mean, they're right down the street, but yeah, Rookery fucking hosted the 4B live anniversary show.
Yeah.
One of my buddies was a bartender there. I told you guys that, I think.
Yeah.
A craft documentary series.
In order to provide
Dude, that movie
elements
Freaked is not on streaming anywhere. I'm gonna.
based.
Okay.
This
Him,
is-
him, not so good.
I mean,
Yeah, he's a
that-
wiener.
That's
looks-
the Proud Boys have some good ideas, guys.
I mean,
Shockingly,
that's that. Yeah,
He's
I mean,
like,
that's,
I would not kick the Proud Boys out of my brewery because I'm open to ideas.
no. If you just listen to what they have to say,
Yeah, right?
There you go.
Art of the Brew, it's called, huh?
I'm downloading that
Art of
movie
the Brew.
Freaked. I'm gonna rally my bad movie podcast to watch that shit because,
You have a bad movie podcast?
I hang out in a Discord for a bad
Oh,
movie.
I was like,
podcast.
what?
Yeah, sorry. I listen to. I
Oh, why are
don't
we
make.
watching this?
Oh, no,
We can make a bad
no.
movie podcast.
We should. I am down to
I watch bad movies.
do other things.
To me, all movies are pretty bad.
Hey, sell that over there.
All movies are bad. Greg's like, I never liked the movie, really.
And all fucking movies are shitty.
What?
I was watching Empire Strikes Back last night. I'm like, fuck, this movie sucked. And like,
Gay.
for whatever reason, like, I thought Empire was like the best one, but I'm like,
What?
good God.
Fun fact:
Plot holes.
I have never seen a Star Wars movie.
Yeah. You're one of
All
those
right,
guys.
I'm not
Proudly.
Joe's. I'm not at Joe's level.
It's fine. It's fine.
Proudly,
You're not
I'm
missing
not at
much.
Joe's level, but like, I just don't care about Star Wars. Like,
I just
like
was
it
yeah,
fine.
I was
It's
never
a
into it.
thing.
as a kid.
It's not like I don't actively dislike Star Wars. Like, I like the movies fine. I think we had Return of the Jedi on VHS when I was a kid because it was the kid-friendly one because it had the Ewoks or whatever. But like, it wasn't a movie that like grabbed me and changed my life like it did for so many other people my age.
Yeah,
And
that
so
first
it's
one
hard
was.
for me to get involved in the like Star Wars discourse because people are talking about it as like the most important movie of their fucking life. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's like Harry
it's just
Potter,
a movie,
so-
man.
I kind of feel like at this point too, like if I went back and watched those, I'm like, there's no way they held up, like you were saying, Greg. Like this, you're
They
like,
don't.
So
yeah.
if you've never seen them, you don't have the nostalgia, therefore that you won't
Right.
like them.
Exactly. No,
Because they
exactly.
don't
Yeah,
hold
then-
up.
then-
They're,
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Especially
good
after
movies, but
It's
they're
entertaining.
the remakes
silly
happened.
adventure
Soap
movies.
operas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's soap opera in space.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's fine.
What about like Marvel movies, Joe? Like,
No, my kids watch them. I was never into those either.
Same.
oh my
I don't,
god,
I don't watch a
you
lot
weren't
of
part of the
movies.
whole Endgame saga.
Same.
No.
I don't watch movies.
Oh god, you missed out on so much good
Endgame
stuff.
was okay though.
Nope.
I cried
We're gonna do a movie
when
podcast where we
Spider-Man
show you guys
died.
basic
Like when
ass
he got
good
fucking
movies.
snapped out. Oh my god, how?
I'll watch the shit out of Police Academy though.
Oh, it's the
I
best.
like
dude.
Police Academy, but we're not
I've
talking
seen
about the
all
same
the Police Academies.
How about
John-
Beverly Hills
John,
Cop?
John, have you seen Top Secret?
I watched the new Beverly
That's
Hills
one of my
Cop.
favorite
It
movies.
sucks.
I haven't seen
That
Top
movie is
Secret.
so
What is
good.
Top Secret?
Oh my gosh, you've never
Top
seen
Secret's
Top
Secret?
Secret?
a
Secret?
You cry?
parody
Fucking
movie
Val
from the
Kilmer.
80s with Val Kilmer.
Dude, when they're,
Souvenirs.
dude, when they're in the
The
cow
Potty
costume,
Tricks.
when they're the cows, and they're fucking
He's like,
I know a-
Oh, just one more
Dude.
minute.
I know a little German.
He's right over there.
Top Secret is so good. John, you got to watch that. Actually, I don't know if
Okay,
that
I'll
movie.
do-
I don't know if that movie holds up.
It does.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
silly
good.
parody movie. You have to like that
Dude,
kind of thing.
That's the fucking thing on his eye, and he takes it down his eyes like this.
Yeah. Chocolate mousse.
Just saying.
I'll always love you.
They have that underwater bar fight. It's the fucking.
What about
best.
So
Superman?
great.
Like,
Oh,
the-
yeah.
How about Johnny Dangerously?
the original
never
Superman
actually
from,
saw that
like,
movie.
Superman the movie.
Yeah, yeah,
with,
yeah.
It's very top secret-y.
the dude. I should know his
Christopher
name.
Reeve.
Joe,
Yeah.
what are some other 80s bangers? Or Joe and Greg, some 80s movies that you like that like if
You Better Off Dead.
Oh, great
Okay.
movie. I mean, I was big
Better
on
Off
the.
Dead is amazing.
I
people
love-
killed that $2 thing for me like years before I ever saw that.
Yeah,
movie.
that was
It's
like,
real
I
annoying.
mean, yeah. But
I mean,
it's a
16
damn
Candles, Breakfast
people
Club.
be throwing away a perfectly good white boy like that.
I was very big into the Karate Kid series.
Yeah, all the John
Karate
Hughes
Kid?
shit back then. John Hughes films don't really hold up these days so much.
I like those movies still.
I think
There's
still pretty
a
good.
lot of like racist gay jokes. And stuff
Oh,
that
I
are
mean,
like,
yeah, there's a general casual racism and homophobia
Yeah.
that goes with
No.
the 80s
yeah,
Oh,
or the
dong-
90s
the
or
dong
even
and
the fucking
shit.
2000s, really.
Sent
It's like,
Mario
ooh,
in the chat said Caddyshack. I have a Caddyshack poster on my wall. I fucking love Caddyshack.
Caddyshack's dope.
Awesome.
Caddyshack, yeah.
I'm trying to look what else is over
My
there.
repertoire.
You guys are a group I consider funny. What do you guys all think about Steve Martin?
Funny in his own
Steve
way.
Martin's funny.
Not funny. Kind of like, I mean, he's Steve Martin.
He's fine, but everyone treats Steve Martin and Martin
The Jerk
Short.
and stuff like that.
I
Yeah,
feel
the Jerk's
like
great.
The Jerk was good. Yeah, but like,
I mean, that was like 40 years ago.
I mean,
yeah,
Greg, are you a Fletch fan?
Oh, 100%.
Fletch is great. John, have you seen Fletch?
I can quote
Yeah.
that whole fucking movie.
No.
I like it.
Weird Science. Okay, Weird,
Weird
Science.
Science, awesome. We just watched
That's the
that.
one movie my wife and I agree on.
You don't like Weird Science?
Oh, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one movie that we're like how do you know this?
I do.
'Cause-
I am really sad that I missed the era of the like coupler modem, like the modem that you literally
phone.
where you put your fucking phone handset on it.
Oh,
Dude, one of
okay.
my friends
And
that,
it was like 200 baht or whatever the fuck.
dude, the first time I got introduced to bulletin
back in the
boards-
BBS days.
Yeah, BBS was my friend. He died of cancer like a year after I
Rip
went to his house.
BBS friend.
He was a friend from church. No, he died from cancer. But like he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this," and I had this is before I was like, I don't know, 12.
John, have you seen
He's
you've
like,
seen
"Oh,
Trading
there's
Places,
this
right?
Your CompuServe
Trading
email
Places
address.
the movie.
Yeah, you
Oh, that's an excellent movie.
You know which scene.
so
So like this dude though, he's like, "Oh, so there's this thing called bulletin board services," and
Yeah,
like,
BBS dude.
he plugged his fucking phone in this thing. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You can talk to people on this thing called the internet," and I'm like, "I don't know what you're doing," but he also played what's that? The dirty leisure the fucking
Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure-
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
LSL,
Leisure Suit
baby.
Larry.
LSL.exe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that at his house, but he was like this
Dude.
wholesome Christian dude that had cancer and he died when he was like
Jason,
17. It sucked.
have you ever watched ASCII porn back in the BBS days?
My first
No.
introduction to
Like
porn on the internet was
Cindy
at
Crawford,
one of our,
Cindy Crawford boobs on
one of our
with the ASCII
scoutmaster's
text.
house. He was with my dad in a room.
Those are
on
rough days.
a fucking Commodore PC, and he had like it took like 5 minutes to render a photo of a chick with
Yeah, dude.
it's out.
It's
It's like, oh, that's amazing.
wow!
like-
Here comes the nips.
It
wanna
would be
take that
me
line.
downloading like Anna Nicole Smith Playboy JPEGs, and each one would take like 10 minutes to load.
Dude, when she
You
was
just you just gotta wait.
Jason,
ASCII
when she
porn
was
is the
in
best.
Naked Gun 33 and a third or whatever that movie was, like she was legit back then. before she changed, like she was, yeah.
I
Anna
mean,
Nicole
she
Smith
was probably already a hot mess, but we didn't really see that in the pornography. So,
John, have you seen Romancing the Stone?
I have, yeah.
Great movie.
Good
Greg,
movie.
did you like that movie?
Oh
80s
yeah,
vibes.
it's classic. Here we go. ASCII porn.
I mean,
Oh god.
like
Can
Back
we
to the
stop?
Future was.
Stop this. Shut it down.
do you
No.
think we get demonetized for ASCII porn?
Stop it. What do we
Stop it. Get some help.
Speller West would be apology.
Oh my god. So
Hey,
here's,
the show's long over.
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
on here. They're just like, God damn, these guys are talking about
Here we
jerking
go.
off Mobley.
Yeah. Here's my early days.
The dot
It's got the little
Be like,
things on the side too.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I love it.
I can hear that printer, dude. It's all...
You know, they still make dot matrix printers for
Hotels and
like
shit. Yeah.
car dealerships.
Why?
Yep.
Because they have that standardized form that has like contact
why?
paper. Because the form has
You have
contact
to, like,
paper that they
form,
need
yeah.
to print on it, and so the dot matrix hitting it triggers the contact paper, and it works, and it
This
prints-
is-
Carbon
Dude,
copy.
and it prints
Really.
all 5 levels
s-
or whatever,
Yeah.
where like a laser
Did you-
doesn't. So they
Okay,
still make dot matrix just for that.
Weird job for Nagel here. I worked on a 900 number that supported dot matrix printers.
Oh, I was hoping it was a different
Why was it
900 number.
900?
Yeah, they printed out shit like what you just posted, right?
Yep.
Welcome
Just
to
like-
hotmatrix.com. You
just
want
like
the
this,
hottest?
Just like this,
God.
Jason.
It's the goatee. Dude, he's got the goatee. He did the goatee, dude. Well, how dare you?
Let's ask what? That was just like
God damn you,
That
Greg.
was red,
How
Was
dare
that
you?
just
I-
a setup?
fucking
Was that
fire.
just
Listen.
a setup for the goatee, Greg?
I wish that was the only one I've ever. I wish that was the one that I saw originally. That would have been fine.
Oh my god.
My
This is the
friend,
best site.
when we were like 20 years old, my friend he got a snow globe that you could make your own thing. And on one side, it was like a meme from something awful that said comedy gold and had like a grill. And the other side, it was goatee. And it was a snow globe. So you'd shake it up and it had like sparkles in it and shit.
Oh my god, yes.
And so we would shake it up and put it on the table and we'd be
Shake it
like,
off.
don't look at that.
Which side are you gonna get?
Oh my god, look,
And people
look at this
would be
gif.
like,
That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh,
That's
amazing.
That's
Can you send
good-
that to
That's
me?
some good characters right there.
Can you send that to me?
It's all the same site.
Holy smoke!
Jason had to leave.
Where'd he go? Where'd
I
Jason
don't.
go?
How did I get out of here? I was literally talking about it. I was like that one was drawn by a machine, like an AI made that.
Right,
ASCII.
right.
The one
Oh,
above
this-
it, the one right below it, looks like it was drawn by like just a horny dude who's like, I had to make
Totally.
the horniest art I can make on
Dude,
fucking out of
ASCII porn is the
text.
best.
Is this? I don't know. Porn?
It's TOS. I mean, it's character. It's characters.
It's fine.
We're gonna get a Twitch strike.
You're not
Hey,
getting that retweet.
we're up to 10 people, Greg. More ASCII porn. We were at 5 for a long time. See, look at Steven's here just for the ASCII porn, dude.
Yeah.
That's my childhood. Logging into BBSs and downloading ASCII porn back in the day.
We're all
ASCII
old enough
porn.
to have found like fucking like field porn, right?
What is it?
porn.
Field?
Yeah, you guys never like
Oh
found...
yeah, so totally yes. Me
Yeah, like,
when
What,
back
like,
in Rialto in the wash, we would like
You would just
We'd find,
find pornos like lying around.
in a
Oh,
tree.
you mean like out
found
like in
porn.
real life?
Yeah, like field
yeah.
porn. Like you're like out, you
I
like
found
go
porn
to a
in a tree.
field and
I
there
didn't
would be like
I didn't know that was an
literally
actual,
like a
thing.
crusty old
Wait,
like
y'all
porno.
found porn in the world?
Yeah, you would just find it
I
around.
would find like a Jugs magazine, like in a tree.
Oh,
And pre-internet, you're like, wow, I never get to see an errant titty anywhere. Like, I remember one time finding like the
I know
outside,
Rialto.
like you know how they do those like cardboard covers on a VHS tape. It would be
No.
like the cover of a VHS tape,
uh-uh.
but like not the VHS, but it'd be like a porno VHS. Like, wow, someone fucking left this on the street. There's
What?
titties on here.
Fucking Jason, errant titty.
People would leave porno everywhere
All the time.
It's a whole thing. Talk
Yeah.
to any Gen Xer; they'll be like, you just
100%
find
found
you
porn.
go to the
Um,
woods and there's porno in it.
Oh yeah, Jason.
What's
one of my buddies
the
was a
magazine
garbage
from
man.
The Sopranos? Shit, Leg Show. My friend's dad had piles, literally, of Leg Show outside of his bedroom, his master bedroom door, where he slept with his wife.
Wow.
And that's where I first saw him. I'm like, your dad just has porn chilling right there? Really?
Heck yeah.
He's like, yeah, you want to look at it? I'm like,
Sometimes.
I do, but I feel like I shouldn't.
Dude,
It's
I had a
like I fell in love with the girl at the leg show.
I mean, hey,
I had a friend who was a garbage man, and he said every day during pickup, there was all kinds of porn he would get out of people's garbages.
oh, that's the worst kind of porn. Oh,
free.
God.
It's free. It's the best.
What's on the porn?
I mean, I don't know, but he was
depending
just
on
like,
the
yeah.
media, I guess. If it's videotape,
I mean, this was back like late '90s, early 2000s, so it's probably pretty decent.
yeah.
It's pretty okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, if it's like a magazine, you open it, you never know. But like a videotape,
oh no, it was like videos. Yeah, it was old like AV or not.
they're like, I'm giving it up once and for all, going in the trash, or they're just worn out, maybe. It's like,
No,
it up.
it's
I'm throwing it away.
Somebody's
Time to
parent
get
or
sober.
partner or whatever found their pornography, and they're just like, "Get this filth out of my home!"
Yeah.
And they threw it in the trash, and this guy just like, "Hell yeah, free fucking porno!"
Oh, he got all kinds of stuff. It was crazy.
Oh, stop! My ass is on fire. 6. Fuck yeah, I love that one.
6.
That's me every day.
What was the one? It was one of the prank calls on Howard Stern. He's like, "Do you have Fondle My Fart Box 5?" They're like, "Yes, I do have that."
The happy scrappy hero pup.
Happy Scrappy.
Dude, have you guys seen the trailer? There's a new Kevin Smith movie coming out.
No.
And by the way, Meat Spin still works.
So they
Oh yeah, it did. I did check it when Joe said it's different though. It's not the same GIF as it used to be.
It's not.
No,
I don't know
it's
why I'm
still
going here, but
it's still somebody getting anally penetrated with their dick
Oh my
swinging,
God.
but
Jesus.
it's a different one. Look, we lost 3 people. Greg, put up
Oh,
Cindy Crawford
no.
ASCII.
all right.
We're,
Oh, yeah, it
we're
is a
losing
different one.
people left and right.
Do people know who Cindy Crawford is these days?
Yeah, our audience does.
All right. What do we got here? Don't
McCarthy poster in
see.
my room would be
Yeah,
good.
nothing.
No, we this is. Let's just stop.
Oh, here we go.
No, no.
Oh, wait, it's happening. It's happening. We got it. There she is.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
looking
yeah.
hot.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's
That's right.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's
No, I remember there was apps that you could get that would do that. They would like take a JPEG and render it, and it would take like 15 minutes, and then it would spit out.
Oh, yeah.
this.
is that
Here's
a
beer. Yep.
That's
Oh, that's
Kegerator.
good.
Here's this one. I like this one. The Steinlager
Who's
New
Paulina
Zealand's finest beer.
Korsakova that
I don't
Stephen
know.
Toomey in the chats?
Paulina, yeah, she was
Dude, this is
she married the
weird.
car
Kind
singer.
of creepy, and I don't.
She married
She mar-
the car singer, dude.
Oh,
She married who?
Chocolate. The singer of the Cars?
Oh, okay.
Oh, a fashion model. Okay.
Yeah. Paulina.
That's
very,
a
very
very
famous.
with the girl at the rock show.
chocolate kiss.
Ice cream.
Okay.
All right. Let's go.
Are we getting more
plants.
wholesome so John feels better?
Let's go bonsai trees.
There you go.
Here's some religion.
Do you got any Sesame Street ASCII art?
Here's Buddhism.
That looks like a dick.
That's Buddha.
Here's
Dude.
here's the
Star of David.
more Star of David. Yeah, we've
Mhm.
got archery. Pew!
Okay.
Look at that one.
That's pretty good.
Just those ASCII artists, dude, shredding it.
They're really doing a lot with a little.
The
What I realized in the olden days
Animaniacs.
is that
Betty Boop.
people were really fucking bored.
Casper.
How many people do you think that would have just been bored as shit and like created some cool art that like just like went on the internet instead?
I don't know, man.
Like, do you think like there's people that would have created cool shit out of boredom, but they're just like shit
Now they're, like-
posting on
now they're just,
on
like, shit
Twitter
post- yeah.
instead? Yeah.
They're like just searching like AI bullshit.
Yeah, they're AI artists.
Yep.
Oh my lord! You guys watching the Olympics?
Olympics,
Yes.
yes.
I was
More
like,
I enjoy.
maybe I'll watch
More than I
this.
USA
And
hat.
I don't have Peacock, so I'm not gonna watch that shit.
It's YouTube TV, man.
Yeah, I'll pay $80 a month for it.
I thought I gave you my login, Jason. What the fuck?
I don't give a shit. I don't want to watch that shit.
Well,
You guys
I'm gonna
watching
watch-
the Olympics? Yeah, fuck the Olympics.
No, I'm not gonna watch linear TV
Yeah,
with
so
commercials like a
the last match I saw was between Italy and USA for the women's beach volleyball, which is 2-on-2, and it was incredible to watch. Like the shit that went, there was multiple moments on that where I was just like, oh my god, oh what the fuck did they like? Just the passes and like the it was fucking amazing. Like
Yeah, dude, watching Simone Biles is unreal.
and
Yeah, she's
her-
great.
Jesus fucking Christ! Like
She's
she
great.
is a
The GOAT.
god.
She is
Like-
the goat.
Incredible.
And all those people who talk shit about her after the Tokyo thing, like fuck off.
No, fuck
That's crazy.
everybody.
Yeah, it's not gnarly.
It's the usual cast of shitbags just being shitbags. Like it's all bad faith. You know exactly why that they want to bash on the black woman athlete. Like
Exactly.
fuck off. Like we like it's completely transparent. Every bullshit thing they made up is completely transparent.
She makes it look easy to do the things that she does.
It's wild, dude. She's unreal.
like it's like she looks like a computer formed generation of that move, but
With
she's
frizzy
doing it
hair.
in real life.
Love it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Super cool.
Completely unrelated. I saw that the Tams in Compton painted a Kendrick Lamar mural on the side that says "They not like us."
That song's so great.
I love Tams. There's a Tams right by my house, and I go there all the time. And I fucking love Tams. It's like my favorite burger.
Nice.
Oh.
So,
Joe,
anyways,
Joe, is
I'm
your
basically
is your
Kendrick.
dog still looking at you?
No, he's over here laying down.
Oh, okay. He's
Is
like,
is your dog an OV hoe?
He's more of a Kendrick Lamar guy.
Okay, good. No OV hose allowed.
Oh, he's just look. He came over here now. I don't know what he's doing.
I listened to when I was driving to
Just,
Utah.
just laying by me.
He's
playing
becoming a
Pac-Man.
long boy because he's fucking hot. That's what
I listened to a 2-hour podcast breaking down that song and what all the different fucking references meant and shit.
Oh, for Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the kids told me he ended Drake. I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, he fucked his life up.
he crushed him.
Boys, I gotta go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we should probably go.
This was fun. Look at us.
Sean it.
Certified
Look at us.
hustler, certified.
Here we are.
Did it.
pedophile.
Look at
We
us.
did it.
We fucking
Good
did it.
Sunday.
Sunday fun day.
Good Sunday, bros.
Dude, on the hot ones tip, just real quick. The last, I've kind of not liked that they've had more famous people on because I felt like the show got lamer. And then I feel like Conan raised the bar where everyone's
fuck yeah.
oh, I gotta come out hard. And the Vince Vaughn episode and
He's
the Hugh Jackman and
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds episode,
Oh, I gotta
both
watch
of
this.
those were fucking great. It
There should
was
be a
they came out and they're just dude, Vince Vaughn, spoiler alert, but Vince Vaughn literally takes the last dab wing and he's like, we did the last one, right? All right. Let's take the last dab wing, put some Da Bomb on the back of it, and then eat the rest of it.
Oh, jeez.
What
are you
Didn't Ryan
you guys
Reynolds-
have had
was
the
like,
bomb before,
I'm
right?
fine. He was just I used to eat hot shit with my friends when I was
That's
a fucking dumb
ridiculous.
teenager.
The bomb is pure pain, dude.
My buddy
But
told me.
he did a
It's a-
last dab with the last dab wing,
Fuck.
and he poured Da Bomb on the last
The
dab
bomb
wing.
is pure pain, dude.
Yeah.
There's no
What-
flavor.
One of my buddies said that. He said his wife made wings and they wanted to try the bomb thing, and he took one bite and he had to
So
lay down
gross.
for 4 hours.
Yeah,
Oh,
it fucks.
100%
Yeah, it's
palpitations.
I don't believe it.
not 4 hours. I've had Da Bomb. It's
He said it was terrible.
It's like
from-
bee sting in your
I'm
mouth.
medium heat sensitive. But Da Bomb basically is for 15 minutes you're not functional.
Jason, you've had my hot sauce. How would it compare?
Yeah, the bomb's 100 times hot.
No, but the
Your hot sauce actually
habanero-
tastes good.
It's like somebody drilling nails in your tongue.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah, it's not flavorful
It's
at all. It is
painful.
just hot.
Isn't
And
that the
thank
one
you.
where
Um,
Shaq was
Just
like,
pain.
Shaq was like, "You don't make hot sauce in Kansas City." It wasn't that the bomb, and he took one bite, and that's when the whole meme where he's like,
He did the.
"Yeah."
Well, the sauces made by the Heatonist are actually really tasty. Da Bomb is just
That one's
fucking
not
gross.
good.
It's
Da
just
Bomb is
not.
the only first generation sauce they keep. They've changed the roster of
just
their
wrecks
sauces
people.
20
keep that on.
times now. And
So bad.
but because Da Bomb is the harshest sauce that they have, they keep it.
Yeah, so, like, fuck-
I
fuck
have
your
some
couch.
still, and it's it just tastes like battery acid. It's
Same, yeah. Dave's
There-
Insanity, same thing.
yeah, I had
there's
the
no
Dave's-
flavor.
the Beyond Insanity sauce.
It's just
so
pure
So they're
hot.
just
I think
going for
pure
just for
capsaicin.
pure heat, capsaicin heat, right?
That's
and
it.
the
There's
early
no flavor
episodes,
to
they
it.
had a lot of
No.
those that
Fuck that.
I mean, the Key and Peele episode, they had the Pain 100% is literally the name of the sauce. Because they made the joke. He's like, "How's the pain?" He's like, "Oh, 100%."
It's like T-Pain.
Yeah.
That's a great episode, by the way. All-time hot ones.
Yeah,
Banger.
Joe took both of my. I made a red sauce and then a habanero sauce.
I finished all of them.
Yeah, I believe you. And the
I finished
guys
your
from-
green.
Yeah, the green was good too. That was that turned out surprisingly well. That was fermented for a month.
I like those.
But the guys at work, I bought basically 10 bottles of the red and 10 bottles of the habanero to work, and everyone was hands down, I just want the habanero. It tastes
good.
good. It's hot, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And I go to the shop at my job now, and they're like, "Any more hot sauce?" I'm like, "Yeah, you gotta wait for it."
more of that habanero hot sauce around? More of that hot sauce. Some of that hot
So.
sauce.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you to everyone who hung out for this last
AC
hour and a
porn.
half of
What is it
the-
called? AC porn?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, he did it again.
Who already did that?
My bad.
Certified
My bad.
hustler, certified pedophile.
I don't think we're gonna record next weekend. I think our next show is gonna be all Timbo,
Ooh.
Timbus.
which Joe and Greg have been working on.
We're
do
gonna
it.
spend the next 2
I'm
weeks
gonna
figuring
drink 'em
out how
all.
to get those
Sorry.
beers to each other.
Yeah, exactly. So not next weekend unless we all want it to be next weekend because I have to work next weekend. But if it's not next weekend, it will be some other time in August. And until then, we'll see you all later. And thanks for hanging out.
Later, players.
It is.
Bottle share player.
Playa.
Iron Triangle.